What is going on, guys? You see it. The start of the show is here, folks. Thank you guys for tuning in. As always, appreciate y'all. This is Know the Ledge, and I guess you can see I got a surprise guest to start the show. What's going on with my man John today? What's happening?
What up, what up, what up, what up? You already see us. We're here, we're in the building. Excited to be here with you. Couldn't make it last week because, obligations at home and, the wife's birthday and everything. Had to go treat her out to a nice restaurant and to enjoy ourselves and spend some quality time together. But I'm here today. I'm in my in-laws, but, in spirit, I'm in my old neighborhood, right? Look at the background. Yeah, Williamsburg houses. What's
Let's
good?
go. Let's go. Yes, man. A little special treat to start the show, man. Thank you guys for tuning in as always. Happy Saturday to y'all. Um, it's beautiful out here on the East Coast. I mean, you know what I mean. It's wintertime weather. You know what I mean. It's not like in the full, but it's like a little crisp, cool. It's sunny out there. I got the morning cup of Joe or Joanne. Whatever you like. So yeah, man, we starting off right. And we got a nice special treat to have John here. Also, guys, um, you're going to see something on the community tab at some point after the show. That we have a new sponsor called Ultra Game. I'm actually wearing one of the pieces right now, but like I said, you're going to see, this is just a little glimpse of it. It's a hoodie, but I'm going to take a better picture of it so you guys get to see it. We're going to talk about a little bit of that in the community tab, as well as there's going to be a little giveaway that we're doing. The giveaway is going to be basically for 2 days. We want to get it done real quick. It'll be today and tomorrow. So as long as you guys pay attention and basically just follow the rules, it's real simple. You don't got to do too much crazy things. All you got to do is basically, reply to the post and subscribe to make sure you subscribe to obviously still Knicks fans as well as Ultra Game, and just put you mention your favorite team. It should be the Knicks, or you can mention your favorite player, either or, whatever you want to do. I'll outline it in the community tab, but we're definitely happy to have Ultra Game as a sponsor. Look forward to doing many things with them, and as we go along, you'll see us mention them more and more. But yeah, that's pretty much what's going on right now, guys. But thank you for rocking with us. I see there's a lot of people in the chat to start off the show, and I'm excited to shout you guys out and to get it cracking. John, before I get into that and saying what's up to everybody who's in the chat, man, anything going on, anything special, other than what you already shouted out that we should know about?
I don't think so. I mean, planning to go on some vacation time. So December, you're probably not going to see me last couple of weeks of December. But for the most part, doing well, man. The family's good. Everybody's good. My son is playing, as we probably spoke on maybe prior, like maybe 2 episodes ago. He had his first game. He did really, really well. Today is his second game. He's playing in the Catholic school, the CYO in the city. So it's the Catholic School League. And yeah, man, looking forward to seeing him play today. He has like a 5 o'clock game, so it's an evening game. So it should be a lot of fun, man. It should be a lot of fun.
That's dope. That's dope.
Yeah.
And guys, listen, I already saw a little video of how his son's getting down, and for someone who's just starting this out and getting it, going, looks pretty good. I want to gas his head up because when people think they got it already, they start slacking. But you look pretty good. I ain't gonna lie. So I'm happy to see what he's doing out there.
Yeah. So am I, man. His stat line was official. Did really well. He played 16 minutes, had 9 points, 6 rebounds, 2 blocks, 2 steals, 4 fouls, which I'm happy about, because if you ain't fouling, that means you ain't trying. So you know what I mean? That for me was the biggest stat. Seeing him, putting the effort on the defensive side, for me was exciting to see, because I think he's got the skills to do it on the offensive side. I just don't want him to just lean on the offensive side. I want him to be a strong defender. So it was fun to see. As a dad, seeing him for the first time playing in this level, I was like super excited.
Yeah, I could imagine, man. That must have been a really cool feeling. Hey, guys, I also saw him drop this a couple times up and down the court. You know what that means? He was making it rain a little bit. So That's pretty dope, man. I'm glad to see it. Happy for him. Yeah. So guys, look. Once again, appreciate y'all for being here. I see you in the chat. David L is in the building. What's good? Salute to you. Let's see. Let me star that. I'll come back to it. Walter Blackman is in the building. What's good, Walter? Always good to see you. Put these up real quick. David L. Walter Blackman. Deron Wayne is in the building. Salute, my brother. Good to see you. JJ is in the building. Good to see you, JJ. Always a pleasure. Look at this. Maddox, good morning and salute to you, sir. Cash out, James, gold all in my. You know what I'm saying? Cash out. Come on, man. Listen, you know how it is. Comega is here. Good to see you, my brother. Let me see. We got Keith Turner in the building. Keith, good to see you. Mike Boy is here. Always a pleasure, Mike Boy. Dwayne Dennis is here. Salute, salute. We got the Cully Goat in the building. What's good, Cully? I see you out there.
Cully, we gotta connect, man. We gotta connect. I gotta share with you some music. I've been working on. Definitely gotta connect with you. And I know you in the city, right? So hit us up. Hit Ron up or myself. You already know.
That would be dope. That would be dope. That sounds like a plan I like to see. And shout out to Cully. I know was it a couple like last week. Let's say last week. I know he and Jay Boogie and I guess Papa Left was out in the city filming the video for the Christmas joint. So I can't wait to see that. That's gonna be fire. That should be out very soon. So that's very cool. And that you guys already know that joint is dope. I played it as much as I could last year. I'm gonna start playing it this year too, but I gotta wait for the video. Gotta make it official, Jay Boogie style. Infamous New King is in the building. Salute. Appreciate you. Good to see you as always. E. Gibson is in the building. Let me see what he says. You know what? Let me start. I'll come back to it. E. Gibson, good to see you. I'll come back to that. White Falcon is here. What's good, White Falcon? Always a pleasure, brother. Ron Sarmiento in the building. Appreciate you, my brother. Good to see you. Knicks Morning Brew is here. What it do, family? Ah, man, my guy, Project Nerd, a.k.a. Hector, in the building. Let's go. Sean Kearns is here. Good to see you. Salute. Appreciate you, my brother. Let's see. We got Building Blocks in the building. What's up, bro? Good to see you. Victor Rivera is in the building. Salute. And I think I got everybody. Plus, there's also people out there that are viewing that aren't in the chat. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate y'all. John, appreciate y'all. The whole Still Knick Fans family. Appreciate y'all. Let's go. All right. Guys, listen, we're going to have a nice little jam-packed show. It's going to be another good conversation about these New York Knicks. And of course, it's always nice to talk about the Knicks when they're winning, right? Yeah. Can't stop that. That train is always nice. Parrish Duggar is in the building. What's good, Parrish? I see you. And look at my guys, Mets, Knicks fans. Let's go. What's going on? Let me tell you something, guys. I saw a video that just tickled me I was so excited yesterday. This is real quick disclaimer. This is a Met talk. Real quick, John. You gotta love it. Let me tell you something. I was so happy yesterday when I saw this video. I was dying. I couldn't stop. And this is rare to see. When it comes to my sports teams, you don't really get to see these type of videos. But apparently there was, as content creators, there's other content creators who cover different things. There was YouTube content creators that covered the Toronto Blue Jays, I believe. I think it was Toronto. Yeah. And so they were doing a live show talking about, the hot stove, free agency and all this stuff and looking at what's out there and seeing who the team would sign, like live, right? As they're doing this and talking to their fans, the Mets are signing everybody and they are freaking out. They're like, oh my God, the freaking Mets. What do they do? They got this guy. I was tickled pink. It was the best moment ever. I'm sorry. Okay. I said, I'm done with my Met thing, but let's go Mets. Look at their face. Look at their face, guys. Look at them. Yeah, whatever. Yankees still got their people.
I mean, it's cool to be excited with the elderly. I'm cool.
Okay. All right. Okay. That's cool. All right. No problem.
Yeah, building great for the senior citizen center. I got a
All right.
great
No,
senior
no.
citizen ball club out there.
That's okay. Listen, we all in. We better do something this year. It might be tough the next year. Next year is our year.
Listen, by next year, some of them are gonna be croaking, man. What you talking about?
It's cool. It's all right. We all right. We straight. Shout out to Kareem Grant in the building. What's good, twin? Salute, salute. Good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Um, yeah, I think that's everybody. Anybody else who popped in? I got everybody. Yeah, man.
Man,
Good to see
shout outs
y'all.
to the chat, man. They always holding us down, man. Especially on the weekends, man. I be seeing these numbers go up to like 1K, 2K. It'd be dope, man. I appreciate all of y'all coming through. I know I can't, just because, right?
Yeah,
But
no, the weekend be
appreciate
rocking.
yeah, man. Heavy.
Yeah, salute to everybody, man. So thank you guys for being here as usual. Um, I'm going to do the usual and put the link in the chat um as soon as I can. I also got a little special treat for y'all. I will talk about that in a little bit. But let me put that link out there, make sure I got that going. So anybody wants to jump on, they can do so. There you go. Link is live, folks. Shout out to Worldwide L in the building. What's good, Worldwide L? Appreciate you. Um, so let me do this because I failed to do it earlier. I want to stay thorough, be on point. Uh, First off, if you guys haven't checked out Nick's Morning Brew, definitely check Nick's Morning Brew out. Great show, man. You got Jigga Man Porto, you got Phil Porto, you got our guy Heck there. You got they do the Yankees Morning Brew and the Knicks Morning Brew on the Degen Sports Network. It's really cool, really dope. It's usually on live at 11 a.m. Monday through Friday. So definitely check them out, man. Listen, they the hot boys right now. They in these streets, okay? Check them out, man. They did a new thing that's popping. They got great guests. They had Ja Rule. They got my guy Turtle. I call him Proctor because I'm a Power fan. But they just been doing it, man. Great guests. We were on the show recently, so yeah, the guests are great. So definitely check them out and check out their content, as well as support my guy Worldwide L and Hard Will for their show For the Love of the Game. If you haven't checked that out, I don't know where you've been. You hear me mentioning it all the time. They got great content, and they keep putting it out. They're doing more and more. They got sponsorship. They got shorts. They got TikToks. They got all types of things for you now. It's really cool and they're growing. So check them out. Once again, that's For the Love of the Game. Number 4, OUR, Love of the Game. All right. And look at this. Man, Pudge Nice is in the building. What's good, Pudge? Appreciate you. Jay Boogie is in the building. Jay Boogie, what's good? What's good? Salute to you, my brother. Always a pleasure. Hope your Saturday is going well. I know you with the little one. Thank you. Thank you for being in the chat and rocking. Always good to see you, man. Always good to see you. Okay. So I was going to do something real quick in a certain way. And I did all this work last night, and apparently the file is a little too big for StreamYard. So I'm going to have to do it a different way. That's okay, guys. They can't put one over on us. We got it rocking here. We got ways. We got ways. They can't stop the train. It's got to keep moving. Choo choo. All right. I didn't need to put the choo choo. There was a little too much. I got a little hype. Let me get some more coffee. All right. I'm good. Anyway, so what I want to do for you guys is, yep, okay, I got it. So I'm gonna play it this way, guys. I got a new video from Jay Boogie that you guys haven't seen as of yet. It's not the one you're thinking about. It's not the Christmas one. That one's has just been shot and it's gonna get released soon. This is another song that you may have heard us play on Still Knick Fans in the past, but now, you know, Jay Boogie's been doing a hard job of getting, you know, everything together and shooting visuals for this stuff. And this song is fire. It's definitely a big joint. It's special to him. It's an ode to his mom. You know, it's real special to everybody out there, to your loved ones, whoever it may be, but definitely for all the mothers out there. So definitely you know, check this out. It's dope work. So I'm gonna share it like this, and we'll get it up this way since StreamYard wants to act funky. Let me see here. How do I want to do this? Okay, I'll do it that way. Got it. That's the only way to make it happen. There we go. All right, guys. This is the song entitled Sunshine by Jay Boogie. This is a new video that they shot recently. It's very dope. I saw it a couple times, man. I'm like, this is fire. I thought the song was fire when I first heard it. So now that there's visuals to it, it makes it even better. Shout out to Jay Boogie. Shout out to El Dadio. Listen, this dude, he knows what he's doing, man. The visuals on Jay Boogie's stuff is fire. So definitely, guys, check this out. And then right after that, we'll get into this Knick talk, man. Let's support our ones, our day ones.
Real life, real situation.
This is my life, my life, my life, my life. You my sunshine.
Ain't no word bigger than mom's unless we're talking about God.
I'm so proud to say that
Yes,
I'm
sir.
your child.
This for all the mothers.
This is my life, my life, my life, my life. You my sunshine. Through the clouds to see your smile. I'm so proud to say that I'm your
You say your
child.
moms, my moms, they gave us all birth. I be the last, but blessed to say that I'm the first. The 9 months feel like years ago. Too many years. My tears drop, my eyes face with heaven flows. Whoever thought I'd be seeing her from TV? No, I miss your beautiful smile when you see me like that's your child. Mom finally made it.
I made it.
Made it through all the
made
ones
it.
you know that hated.
I made it.
You know the ones that said you had a bad child and couldn't see nothing good in my lifestyle.
me.
I'm feeling sorry for the things I did,
Everything.
like stealing candy out the store as a little kid. My first beat, you really taught me a lesson. But what it was, you really gave me a blessing. Punishment took away my TV. For 2 weeks, I couldn't have no company.
Nobody can come over there.
This is my life, my life, my life, my life. You my sunshine. Through the clouds to see your smile. I'm so proud to say that I'm your child. This is my life, my life, my life, my life. You my sunshine.
Every mother in the
Through the
world.
clouds to see your smile. I'm so proud to say that I'm your
No more
child.
pain, no sorrow, she in a better place. Look in the mirror, reflected, I see my mom's face. My first step in my life after my last call. When Pops left, still showed me how to play ball. Showed me the difference from a dad and how to be a father. Martin Luther, your dreams and let nothing stop you. Ain't nobody more special than moms. Throughout your good and your bad, she gon' always be your mom's. Always love a child, don't always bring a smile, don't always bring your joy, don't always girl or boy. Be your queen, I'm raised to be a king. Respectfully, then love your moms if you're feeling me.
Listen,
I almost shed a tear.
what you feeling?
What I mean, I know a spirit's in here. Hey, you love yours, I love mine. I got my head to the sky, then love your mom's while she living her life, alright? Right?
This is my life, my life, my life, my life. You my sunshine.
All the beautiful
I
mothers,
see your smile, and I'm so proud to say that I'm your
I
child.
appreciate them.
This is my life, my life, my life, my life. You my sunshine.
Appreciate
I
them.
see your smile, I'm so
Tina
proud.
J.
Baby, I'll sacrifice everything for you. No matter the cost, you're worth the fight.
Thank you.
Worth it because you are my life. I raised you, I pray I did it right.
Yes, you did.
Through all your ups and downs, I'll never leave your side. But your mama's always gonna fight, yeah.
Thank you.
You are my life, my life, my life, my life, my sunshine. And you make me smile. Yeah, you're my child.
I see you.
You are my life, my life, my life. You're my sunshine. I see your smile, you make me proud.
Every day that your mom's is living, every day she breathing. Don't wait for that one day to celebrate her. Live her every day of the year. She's your sunshine
Sunshine
all over the world.
and you are my sunshine.
That was fire. That was fire. That's fire. There you go.
You know what I mean?
Much love to all the moms out there, for real.
Facts, man. That is fire. Okay, Jay Boogie. You know what I mean? I love it. Yeah, man. Keep doing it, Jay Boogie, man. Everything is elevating, bro. It's getting better and better. Appreciate you, my bro. Excuse me. Shout out to William in the building, all the way from Brazil. What's good? Salute to you, man. Thank you for being here. Allah Wise is in the building. Appreciate you, my brother. Always good to see you. All right. Hey, man, what a great start to the show. I'm digging that. That got me in a good mood. Whew. Okay. Speaking of good moods, I mean, I gotta, listen, it's been Debbie Downer for the Knicks for a good portion of the season. So the fact that we got something cooking a little bit, we got to be positive about it. It's a good sign. Hey, we know the ledge, okay? We're not jumping out the window. We know what the team is, but the team is playing better. Some things are happening that you got to see and look at as positives. And listen, it's unavoidable. Certain things are really interesting, especially the play of Mr. Julius Randle. Hey, I'm just saying. So let's do this, guys. Let me get the numbers up, and we can kind of get into it, break it down a little bit. There we go. All right. So as you guys can see, Knicks won over the Charlotte Hornets, 121-102. And they're on a nice little streak. They've won 3 games in a row. Yeah, that's right. These New York Knicks. Who would have guessed it? I mean, a week ago I wouldn't have seen it coming, but hey, all right. Rich Boy in the building. Salute to you. Appreciate you, my guy. Yeah, man. Let's take a look at these numbers and see how they did. First off, before I scroll down to the numbers, John, what do you think about how the Knicks are playing, and especially in regards to last night's game?
Yeah, I mean, I'm excited with the way they've been playing. It's interesting that it comes off the heels of Coach Tibbs making the decision to go, 9 deep, 8 deep. You know what I mean? And now with Obi out, it's especially specifically to yesterday's game, they look a lot more cohesive as a defensive team, with Obi not being in the lineup. So, I mean, not to say that Obi was the reason, but I think there are many factors. There's part of Deuce and Grimes playing really good, defense in the perimeter, helping out, busy hands, quick feet, and then also with Mitchell Robinson being back in the lineup, holding it down in the center position, really being a force to be reckoned with, grabbing rebounds, and Julius doing his part and grabbing his boards. I think it's all our effort from everyone that's playing right now. Hartenstein had some, really good minutes yesterday. And seeing him play sort of the mix 4-5 with him and Sim, it looks good, man. It looks good. It's almost like a homage to old, right? Like back in the day, how they used to be built. Teams used to be built with 2 bigs, and then some perimeter players. So it looks like it's that sort of dynamic can still work in the NBA. You know what I mean? But again, this is against Charlotte, so I'm looking forward to see what they look like against the Kings, because that's going to be my barometer on how good this team could potentially be this season. I still have them pegged for 42 wins. I'm not moving that. You know what I mean? I'm staying tight there until they show me different. But as of right now, I think we just sort of like where we're at 500. That's the kind of team we're expecting to see. You know, some good wins, and then we're gonna have some poor play, and it's gonna be very inconsistent this entire season. That's what I'm assuming. How it will all play out.
That sounds good. That makes sense to me, man. I hear you. Shout out to Bad Mojo 1860. I don't know if this is your first time. It may be, or maybe you might have been here one time before. But if you haven't, thank you for being here. Appreciate you. Thank you for subscribing and being a part of the Still Nick fans family. He said, salute, Charlotte needs uniform help. Couldn't take them seriously watching a bunch of CLTs running around. I hear you. Listen, I didn't know too much about that CLT thing. I remember when they released the photos of what the new jerseys were going to look like around the league. That was the one that I was like, I mean, I could figure out who it was eventually, but I'm like, what's the point? I don't know. Listen, CLTs. Okay. Sounds like something you catch at a fast food place. Can I get a CLT with cheese? But maybe that's just me. Anyway, salute to you guys. Appreciate you all, and thank you for tuning in. I also wanted to get to these two things real quick because I started them from earlier. David L said, listen, 5-game win streak on the table, plus we can go 9-1. That is a possibility, but we got to see how it plays out. I mean, we've had a couple of interesting games. We've had a couple breaks. DeJounte Murray got hurt right away, and it was the Rayford Trey Young show. And he didn't have his greatest game. And actually, I think the game after, he didn't have his greatest game either against whoever he played. So it kind of is what it is. The Knicks called a break at that point. We'll see. It could happen. Shout out to E. Gibson. He said, I don't think anything changes until Dolan decides to blow it up. And I don't care if he is committed to doing that. Oh, I'm sorry. And I don't know if he is committed to doing that. Yeah, that's very true, brother. Very true. I don't know, man. I don't know. But we're going to get into a little bit of that after we do the breakdown. So yeah, man, let's take a look at this box score and see what's going on here with these New York Knickerbockers. All right, let me get that a little bigger. There we go. All right. So guys, as you can see, the Knicks had a very nice game, man. Offensively, it looked really good. Defensively, they looked really good, even though they did allow a team, the last 3 games, I mean, the 3 games of this little win streak, the first 2, they held teams to under 100. Charlotte was able to get to 100. Terry Rozier, Scary Terry, that name is there for a reason, caught fire in the fourth quarter, went on a quick little streak there and kind of gave Charlotte a little jolt, which allowed the score to go up. If it wasn't for, Terry Rozier, they could have kept him under 100, but he caught fire and kind of upset me a little bit because he did an up and under move on Mitchell Robinson, which I thought was fantastic. It was a really good move. Okay, that's fine. You missed him, Mitch. But then the next possession, when he comes back down the court, he did it again on Mitch. I'm like, you just saw it, Mitch. Come on, man. You want to be the defensive player of the year? You allowed a guy to do the same move on you 2 times in a row. Like, there's no second guess. Like you don't got to guess. Just even if he would have anticipated it and said, okay, he might do it to me again. Let me do this. And then Rozier flips it and does something else. Okay, but at least anticipate that he might do it again because he's going the same way. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. And then the next play, the next possession down, he lets Plumlee go right up the middle for easy. It's stressful. I'm stressed. It's okay, guys. It's okay. Anyway, guys, so RJ Barrett played 34 minutes, had 26 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, 1 steal, 9 of 18 shooting from the field, 1 of 3 from 3. 1 of 3 from 3, guys. He only took 3 threes. Now look at that. And 7 of 8 from the free throw line. Let's do it like this. John, what did you think about how RJ played last night?
I think this is the kind of game we are expecting him to play, right? I mean, the reason why we keep, bashing RJ's game is because he hasn't performed in this fashion, right? He needs to be shooting at a higher clip, right, from the field. He shouldn't be just chucking up 3-pointers. He should be driving to the basket. He should be hitting his layups. This is where he performs best out of. You know what I mean? And then when you get to the line, you got to knock him down. You know what I mean? That's all we're asking for as the Knicks fandom. You know what I mean? Get to a point to where you're playing the way we expected you to play coming out of college, right? Like, this is sort of what we expect your maturity to be like. And then from time to time, if you get hot, then you throw up a couple of more threes. But for the most part, we expect you to drive to the basket. You know what I mean? Draw the contact, get to the foul line, finish when you're around the rim and hit down those free throws.
Agreed. I mean, yeah, we don't want much. We don't want much. It's simple play. It's stuff that you can do and you've done in the past. We just want to continue to see it. That's, I don't know what that's like. I'm not an athlete, so at least not now.
I was about to say, you used to be.
Okay, yeah, not now, but I'm just wondering what it is to take, from a person who struggles with consistency. How hard it must be for them to kind of get on a consistent path. It must be tough, especially for a guy like RJ who struggles with it every single year. So, I don't know. I don't know what they can do differently, man. Hypnosis? No, I don't know. Anyway, maybe. Yeah, but RJ definitely played like what we're used to seeing when he's going good. And I keep saying that RJ is going to have a moment where he starts to play like this consistently for a spell. I don't know how long it'll be, and I don't know if this is the start of it, but it could be. And so let's hope we see it, because if RJ plays like this or similar to this, then maybe what David L said could happen. Because I think he's the factor. He's the X factor for this Knicks team right now.
100%. I mean, he was really bouncy yesterday, right? You've seen him. He was energetic. He had a good bounce to his game. He was not settling. And that's what we want. That's exactly what we want. Continue to look at this game and project that moving forward. You know what I mean? Be that guy. Because if you can be that guy, then we have a shot at making a run in the playoffs. If you're not that guy, it's not going to work out.
Right. And I think another good thing is that RJ yesterday, he caught a dunk off of a curl that was kind of left open. He took advantage of it. That was good to see. I think he also got blocked 2 times at the rim, but it's good if you get blocked that way, because I think he got blocked at the highest point. It's one thing if you go to the rim and you just lay up a little floater and it gets punched or something like, but if you're elevating, to hit the way he elevates, if you're elevating at the highest point and you get blocked, the point is to be aggressive and continue to do that. So I think RJ needs to continue to do that. So, whatever works for this Knicks team, but definitely whatever helps him get his game going, is a positive. Then you come to Julius Randle, who played 35 minutes. 9 of 21 from the field, 42%, 4 of 10 from 3, 40%. It's a lot of shots, 10 threes, but hey, 11 of 14 from the free throw line. That's nice. That's very nice to see. You don't see Randle get to the line that often. That's a lot. And 78% is a good clip. And before I continue, can I just say how impressed I am with these Knicks at the free throw line? I mean, shout out to them. You don't normally see this, John. You don't normally see a team struggle so bad from the free throw line last year, and we're questioning, like, what the hell's going on? And them to improve so greatly 1 year later. That's wild. Wild stuff. Bro.
Listen, it's a testament to the work they put in. You know what I mean? Like, that's the type of stuff that you want to see your team get better at. You know what I mean? If you shot it poorly from the free throw line, that's a place where you can correct it. With a 3-point shot, yeah, you can sort of correct it, but you got to be sort of a shooter already, right? You already got to have that sort of ability. And then you can grow into a 3-point shooter, hence Jason Kidd's career, right? But most players, if you aren't already a 3-point shooter growing up, you have a little bit more trouble being consistent from the 3-point range, right? It's a little further out. You got to have nice touch, good bounce. And then get to a nice rhythm to knock them down. Free throws, like, that should be automatic, right? You should always shoot a decent percentage from the free throw line, because that's what got you to the NBA, I would assume.
Right. Keith Turner said, "I'm so sick of seeing RJ play basketball. He make my eyes hurt." It's tough, Keith. I know, man. But listen, all I could say is I think RJ is a much better player than I've seen so far this year. This is the worst I've ever seen RJ. I've said it multiple times, and I really don't think there's anything wrong with that. Me saying that because I don't think RJ is this bad consistently. He's not a consistent player by any means. We know how he is, but I've never seen him this bad in any level. That's high school when they were following him, college when they talked about him, and when I saw him at Duke, and with the Knicks, I've never seen him this bad as far as the slow start. Okay, we know that. But the decision making, the selfishness, I've never seen RJ this bad. And the defense. Okay, so he can only go up from here. He can only go up. And last night was a good start. I like to look at it like last night. Of course, he's had a couple good games prior to this, but we're starting from last night. That's what he should be thinking. Last night, I'm going to build upon it.
He got to work on consistency, you know what I mean, and just being that guy, you know what I mean. He's got to have that pit bull mentality of I'm gonna keep going to the basket. But also, what he did really well is he also kept an eye out for his teammates yesterday. So the lob was there. Usually, when he's going downhill and he has his eyes focused on the basket only, is when you see the immaturity in his game. When he starts to really look and sort of look with the peripheral while he's driving to the basket and get guys open shots, that's the kind of RJ you need, because now they have to defend the pass. They have to defend you going to the basket, and especially if you're knocking them down from close range. If your layup game and layup package is on point, they got to guard you. But at that point, it opens up all the rest. You know what I mean? And that's what he got to be consistent in. And he hasn't been this season.
Facts. Yeah. So all these guys, everybody on this team needs to trust each other. They got to trust their teammates, especially RJ. I don't know what's going on with him lately. There's still moments, even in last night's game, where I saw him come down and the numbers really aren't in his favor, and he's forcing the issue, and he's got somebody open. Now, I know that sometimes he could get a little, ball hoggy on the team. And like, if you keep going to Brunson, Brunson's going to keep doing it. Or maybe Randall he's been hot. So he's been the guy, he might keep going. And sometimes you're like, well, where am I going to get my shot if I just keep doing it this way? Because it may not come back. You got to trust that it will, man. You got to trust that it will. RJ's got to say to himself, okay, this time down the court, I got guys that may be open and I see the numbers in my favor. I'll make the pass. Maybe next time I'll think about it, but this time I'll make the pass. Like, go, I don't know what happened. It's crazy. Also, Building Block said RJ is exactly what I thought he would be coming out of college, and that is why I didn't want New York to draft him. He's a Knick, so I hope vastly improves his all-around game. Too many excuses are made. Yeah, definitely. I think we kind of summed it up about how he's been playing and what he should try to continue to do. But he's definitely had some struggle moments this year, man. And Rich Boy said, if you looked on that block, the defender hands pushed RJ out. Yeah, there was no call there. When you're not playing well, Rich Boy, as well as all you guys know, when you're not playing well, the refs don't give you the calls the way you're supposed to get them. That's just how it is. Okay, so back to the numbers here, and then I see we got another guest. I'll get him in here in 2 seconds. So back to
what I liked about yesterday's game is that you had how many players in double figures? Seven. That's a good wealth of spread right there, right? Like,
good sign.
Sharing the ball and everyone getting an opportunity to shoot the rock and be involved in the game. I think that's what we got to be doing. You know what I mean? As a team that, especially like getting Grimes and Hartenstein involved in the game offensively also is an added bonus.
Agreed. There's definitely been a situation where you want to see them share the rock, because that's how you move the ball, man. That's how you get the pace going, all that stuff. They got to believe in each other. So Julius had 7 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 steal, 1 block, a couple turnovers. But he had 33 points. Another solid game for Julius Randle. And notice, Knicks are winning when Julius plays like this.
And Julius is having an all-star caliber season so far. And his turnovers have been down. So, I mean, and I'm looking at Julius as he should be the third option. Right now, he's kind of playing as the first or second option, depending on if Brunson got it going. But as a third option for this team, is that more dynamic? Because if RJ got it going and Jalen got it going, now all he has to do is just pick up the pieces on the offensive end. You know what I mean? And he's been strong this year. I mean, he's really putting the, what is it, like at least the last 4 games, he's averaged above 24, something about that.
Yeah, so yeah, that's about right. Yeah, very true. And let me say this real quick, and then we'll get our guy in here. I think that this whole thing with Julius is great. It's fantastic to see him playing this well. And then what you were saying, John, about him kind of showing to be, at least for this Knicks team right now, a number 1 option for them. I think it actually should be this way. As much as I assume that Jalen Brunson is the number 1 option, and because of ball usage and the control of the ball, he might still be in that. But his mindset, I think, should be more of a number 2. I think he's got a little lost in the whole, we need a big basket. I got to get that big basket. We struggle at times to do this, so I got to be the one to do it. It's good mentality to have, and sometimes we do need it. But I think Jalen might lose himself a little bit in it, and might shoot a little too much, and then it kind of gets him out of the rest of his game and what he does to help, make the rest of the guys on the team better. So the fact that Julius is stepping up and playing like a number 1 for this team right now is good, because I think that allows Jalen to settle back in, and he needs that right now because his shot has been really struggling. For a very efficient player, it's not that comfortable for him right now. He's got to figure it out, and he's had like 2 or 3 games. These last games he hasn't played well on the offensive side, so he'll get out of it because he's very consistent with that. But I just like the fact that Julius has stepped up, and that's the thing. For the Knicks to win, 2 of these 3 got to have good games at least to try to do it. And if 3 of them have it, then you see, I think a really good product out there. But we haven't really seen the 3 of them hitting on all cylinders together. So let me get our guy in here. The man we've been talking about and saw, a great, product from a little while ago. Shout out to my guy, Jay Boogie, in the building.
What's good, Jay? What's going on?
A good late morning. Get ready to be good early afternoon. Blessings of health and happiness. You have to excuse my voice. I'm out of it from last night. I'm all the way out of it. Shout out to the chat, the greatest people it is in the world. I had to come up just for a few moments, you know what I'm saying, and share this epic moment, because not too many times do we get both Ron and John on a Saturday there together. So I wanted to make sure I was a part of that, and rock out with y'all just for a second. Wifey don't snuck out to the store, real, she'll be back. So, you know how we do it, happy wife, happy home, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, I just wanted to come up for a brief moment, man. Big time win last night. These are not my words. These are Alan Hahn's word. You know what I'm saying? It's been a long time since we won back-to-back games in Charlotte, over a decade. And you remember last year we won the last game, and they're winning this year. Last year, Obi Toppin had his greatest performance the first time he was ever interviewed after the game by Rebecca Harlow and all that. And then winning last night, that's a great win, coming off 2 secured wins at home, you know what I'm saying, on our stretch, then hit the road and handle our business, you know what I'm saying. I don't care how we get these W's. I need them inside our situation. More games we win is going to lead us into 2 different directions. Either we go into the playoffs, and if we head to the playoff, that means players are playing good before the trade deadline. Your stock has got to be up before you to get mentioned in, any type trade. So anybody that's saying that, they need to trade this person, trade that person, first thing first, you got to, get behind that player and root them on, because his stock has to get up. You know what I'm saying? Whether Julius is here or not, I'm still going, rock out with him, because I'm a team player, But right now, Julius is doing what he's got to do. He realized that Brunson, you know what I'm saying, realized over here the East is real. His body is, you know what I'm saying, aching here and there, you know what I'm saying. So Julius is taking control right now. He's leading the bunch right now. You hear a lot of rumors and everything going on. The rumors is going to be the rumors. We know the 4 names, but I ain't going to speak on the 4 names. But if you wind up moving Cam, you know what I'm saying, which a lot of us don't want him to go. Reason why, because that's the only 3 that we had. But if you wind up moving Cam on to send him somewhere else, make sure you bring somebody that fits that position. Don't trade a position to go somewhere else to get another position, you know what I'm saying? Make sure we don't have a 3 at all besides Cam. And if you get rid of him, you got to have another 3 to come in here. You know, I don't know what the team's going to do, but right now, I take these 3 wins. Maybe we might be turning things around. Maybe we might be going on a run, you know what I'm saying? I hope so, because the fans deserve, you know what I'm saying, to get out of, you know what I'm saying? We all, you know, we got mixed emotions and everything, what's going on with the team. But for right now, this moment, it was a big-time win last night. Also, I want to send a special shout-out to the guys we rocked last night. You know, me and Fulio, we hung out. Freezy came up. We rocked out. Rob the Nick, he hung out. And got to send a shout-out to the Jigga Man. Jigga Man was in the building. I didn't know he lived so close to me. So y'all know what's getting ready to happen amongst me and Jigga Man. 2 dudes that's just getting ready to go AWOL for a while. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but last night was a beautiful moment. It was all Nick last night. I don't care nothing about the turquoise, black and blue on floor. I don't care nothing about the turquoise. It was all orange and blue up in that building. It was all Nick noised out. We just, you know, overshadowed what they had going on and everything. And just the people was more, just the love and everything, just to get together with people, man. You know what I'm saying? So many happy Knicks fans, you know what's going on. So I just wanted to come up and share that moment with y'all, you know what I'm saying? I'm still a little hoarse from last night, you know, and plus putting on the studio work. Got to get that and go take some medicine and get my throat and everything right. But my little man that played the role part in me, you know what I'm saying, he got a lot of love last night. So some other people, you know, a lot of people seen the video because I put it out on Instagram a couple of days ago. And he got a lot of love, the little one that played me. I took both of them guys that was in the video last night to the game last night. And the lady. Dope. And the lady that was playing the role of my mother, you know, that was her son, the oldest one. And the older lady, the elder lady that came on and at the end, you know, she's a part of our squad, you know, got a crazy, amazing voice, you know what I'm saying? Also, that's the one that sung at the end on Stephanie's video with
the dope. So I knew it. Yeah.
So I used her twice with that right there. So, you know, we got a lot of things going on, man, right now, man. So I'm just happy everybody enjoying the video, everything. But I'll just tell you, you know, I'm gonna take the words of Nas real quick, you know what I'm saying? It's just something to feed the buzz. I got a lot of things in already ready to go. I'm ready to go, but we're gonna wait till after the trade deadline to release the whole thing. Just want to let y'all know the type quality and the type quality that I'm going to be bringing, you know what I'm saying? It's going to be talking around pretty much the Knicks, you know, everything, all types of situations. And the reason why I threw that, I'm going to throw the video on the second part of this album because when I thought about it, you know, it's basketball related to up in my life. Then the J Boogie, the Nick color, the Nick Towers in there, and the jersey is in there. And then I thought about it. I'm like, yo, she got orange and blue dress on with orange and blue in her hair. So I'm like, yo, I got to put this on the album because it also has something to do with Nick colors too, you know what I'm saying? So, but I got a lot of things going on, but I wanted to come up there and show y'all guys some love, not take up too much time, man. Let y'all guys know, you know, I love and appreciate y'all to the fullest. Like I said, we don't get Ron and John, both of them on a Saturday. John, you know, he's busy what he's doing, and he got time today, and he's sharing it with you. That's what all, you know what I'm saying, Nick content people do, you know what I'm saying? They got the more time, they going to go all out for our squad, and that's what you got to love and appreciate, everybody. Hit that like button, please. Show some appreciation for the network, you know, what these two guys are always doing, amazing job, along with the MBK, but Nick, shout out to Fulio, or everybody up under, shout out to Sim, everybody up under the MBK networks, Stephanie, Tony Crow, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody. Shout out all the podcasters for the love of the game. Shout out Freezy, everybody. Nick of Time Show, Gambo, you know, everybody. Knicks and Bruising in the morning. Everybody that got something to do with the diehard Knicks. You know, I can go on and on and on, you know what I'm saying, with the name of these guys, you know what I'm saying? But shout out to all the great Nick content because these are the ones that keep the entertainment going on for us when things ain't going right. They keep you entertained and everything. So you got to love and appreciate these guys more than anything, man.
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. I appreciate all those sentiments, man, J Bug, and you continue to do the work. You know what I'm saying? That's why you are a beloved Knick fan. You know what I'm saying? We appreciate you and honor you for someone who's out there doing it yourself. You
Yes,
know
sir.
what I mean? And just keep putting out that good, that good music and that good vibe. You know what I mean? You keep us on the up and up on the regular. So we appreciate you for that. And you know how it is. We do what we can do when we have the ability to do so. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? And that's really what counts. You know what I mean? Us as Knicks fans, we die hard. We grew up on this, and we ain't never gonna leave. You know what I mean? We're orange and blue forever. You know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter what team decides to come to New York and try to represent a part of New York, they would never have the city. And that's a fact.
That's right. This is ours, man. This is our home, our place. You know what I'm saying? We run New York. That's right. This is us right here, man. Ain't no other, man. And a lot of times, I know them guys saying it themselves, and sometimes, man, we should have went over there, man. But it's all good. We go, what I'm saying? Famous words of Denzel Washington. You know what I'm saying? Famous words of Denzel Washington, Equalizer one. You know what he said? If you pray for the rain, you got to deal with the mud. And right now, we praying for a lot of rain, so we got a lot of mud. But get through it. We're gonna get through it, man. And one more shout out, man. Shout out to Canteen Wireless, man. The people, man, doing a great job. You know what I'm saying? So I just want to shout them out real quick too, man. Canteen Wireless. Anybody that haven't seen the new flip phone that is out right now is doing this thing right now. It's coming up, man. I'm about to get ready to lose my voice again, man. But I just want to come out here and show y'all love, man.
Man, we appreciate you, man, for everything, man. And stay up, stay easy. We know you gotta run. You know what I mean? And get well, man. Get that tea in you.
Appreciate that. That's something ready to go stir it up, man. I'm gonna go stir that tea up, man. Y'all have a blessed Saturday. Ron, I see you later on, my brother.
Blessings. Yeah, man. So yeah, fellas, we still rocking with you. I think Ron had to take a quick call, or maybe he had to go, and grab something from his front area. I'm gonna be checking out another half an hour or so, but I'm with you guys for another half an hour. Got to show some love to all of y'all. You know what I mean? Definitely for tuning in and being on with us. We talking Knicks, of course, like all the time. We do it on Mondays. I'm in my in-laws, so it's a little loud in here. But I got my backdrop of our old neighborhood. That's Williamsburg houses. And just showing a little love, being on for a little bit. But yeah, man, the Knicks look good at this moment in time, man. So we're looking forward to a couple of more wins, see if we can go on a nice win streak, 5 in a row if we can pull one off. But if not, it's gonna be what it is. Excuse the background noise. Ron's got to come and save me, but he ain't all right now. So gentlemen on the chat, ladies and gentlemen in the chat, if you got anything to talk about, definitely, put it in the chat so we could discuss it. I know we were currently going around the Knicks current game against the Charlotte Hornets, and they did their thing. And we did what we had to do. You can't. I look at everything as half full. You know what I'm saying? When I look at the games, I try to give a different perspective. I try not to see as everything gloomy. Look at what they're doing well, and then critique what they aren't doing well. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is. Ron, where you at, brother? I'm losing sight. So what we got going on, fellas? Let me see what we got in the chat. I'm gonna give a quick shout outs. JJ, appreciate you. And Grill, appreciate you. Eddie F, appreciate you. We survived 100 people, appreciate you. Infamous New King, appreciate you. Kareem Grant, appreciate you. Dwayne Dennis, appreciate you. That's right. Bushwick Houses, 49. Yeah, we graduated from there, both me and Ron. Sean Kearns, appreciate you. You know what I mean? Eastern District. Yeah, I didn't go to the Eastern District, but that was my home school right there. That was like our zone school. We played a lot of basketball there, though. You know what I mean? What else? What else we got? Let's talk those Knicks, man. What do y'all think? All right. We surveyed 100 people. Says, yo, Ron, you have me stranded, brother.
Oh, man. I'm sorry.
I'm reading the chat real quick. You think Obi being out changed anything for the Charlotte game? I think so. I think they actually played better defensively without Obi. You know what I'm saying? But it just seemed like there was a little bit more chemistry on the defensive side, better rebounding, better in the paint defense. You know, you had two not really rim defenders, but you had two guys with some bulk in them who could grab rebounds, who can box out and get, up and down the floor. Because both Hartenstein and Sims, they ran up and down the court with ease. It didn't seem like we lost a step without Obi. But that's just my opinion. Obi has his good games, but I don't know. Some of his game is predicated to the outside now. They have him shooting a lot of threes. He isn't a strong defender, at least not yet, and it shows sometimes.
Yeah, it's very true. And I apologize, John, and thank you to Jay Boogie. I couldn't even see him off, but appreciate everything he said for the most part of what I was listening to. Really good dude. They had a great time last night from the pictures that I saw. I know him, Josh, Freezy, and Rob the Knick were all out there at Charlotte. They actually went to a game and the Knicks won and played well. So I'm happy for them that they got to experience and witness that. I apologize to y'all and apologize to John and Jay Boogie. But yeah, my bell here was ringing and I'm like, what the hell is going on? I ain't expecting nobody. And then, I've come to find out. I mean, if you guys don't already know, you should by now. My wife hasn't been feeling too good. She's on the mend, slowly and getting better. But apparently someone, a healthcare worker came to check on her status to see how she was doing. So I was like, oh, okay, I wasn't expecting that, but it's cool that they did that.
That takes precedent. You know what I mean? That's first and foremost. You know what I mean? What I had going on in the background over here was a little noisy. I didn't want to distract you. You're gonna see it on the replay. You're gonna hear screaming from a little one, and I was like, "Oh, wait a minute, what's going on?"
I sure got a little crazy. That's all right. Listen, that's real life. But when you want to make things happen, sometimes things come along with it. But the point is, we make the effort, and that's why John is here today, making the effort, guys. Appreciate everybody. Eddie F is in the building. Salute to you. Thank you for being here. Danny Landis is in the building. What's going on, Danny? Good to see you, brother. Let me see. Is anybody else that jumped on that maybe we didn't see before? I want to shout out. Oh, No Cap Sports Talk is in the building. Interesting. He said not getting the Mitchell deal done is going to get this regime fired. When it comes to big moves, our roster is landlocked. Convince me different. Let me tell you something. No Cap Sports, I can't convince you different. I kind of agree with you, so I'm going to leave it at that. We surveyed 100 people is in the building. Thank you, brother. Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it, man. We're taking it day by day, man. We're taking it day by day. Just real quick, one pass through. Anna Grill is in the building. I think I heard John say what's up to Anna Grill. Supreme System Lord Chop Low in the building. Yeah, man. Good to see y'all. Okay, I think that's everybody.
Yeah, so, I think I missed the question by Eddie F. He was asking if we think that if we think D Rose, where we think D Rose will end up.
I don't know, bro. I wonder what you think. Because me personally, I think it's not too many places. But if I'm just thinking about places that have shown interest in him in the past, Milwaukee's one. Milwaukee's been highly interested in Rose. Chicago always has a soft spot for Rose. There was another team that I'm thinking of, but it escapes me. I can't remember who it was, but that's the only three teams that I even remember being interested in them. Unless somebody else pops up, can you think of anybody other than those teams?
Nah, I really can't, but you never know what happens during the, you know what I mean? There may be a team that, may jump in looking for that veteran leadership, but I don't think he would be shipped out alone. If he was to go, I think they would package him with some other players and in a move like that. But those three teams are the optimal teams. Those are the teams that we're hearing about right now. So we'll see. Again, we probably will keep him. Maybe we feel like he's a necessity to have off the bench as a leader, in the locker room. That's one thing that you can say. He continues to sort of bring that, more so now than he's done in the past, where he's being a leader in the locker room. He's the young kids are all, you know, happy to be around them and learning from him. And I think that's the most important part of it all.
Right, right. And Almighty Finesse is in the building. What's good? He says. Salute, salute. Good to see you, bro. Shout out to Sherwin in the building. What's good? Appreciate you. And you know, interesting. I didn't know that. That's cool. Dwayne Dennis grew up in Bushwick houses. That's dope. All right. You right by Williamsburg, man. You know how that like that's the sister, you know, or brother. Either way, big brother, little brother, however you want to say it, that we're so close together. That's dope. That's dope. For the love of the game is in the building. This is Hard Will. What's good, Hard Will? Good to see you, brother. Appreciate you. Damn, Parrish is all the way out on RJ. He said RJ can't even play defense in the WNBA. Wow, it's rough times. Although, before I get back into the box score, guys, I will say, and this is what I said before, there's two things. I'm not one of those guys because I don't predict a lot of stuff too much. But I did say two things that are going to continue to happen, I believe. One was I thought because Obi was going to be hurt, that the Knicks were going to go to a big lineup where you had Sims in there down low and you had Hartenstein on the perimeter to kind of stretch the floor. Even though he hasn't been great at shooting from the perimeter, the point is you can do that with him where you can't do it with Mitch. So, and as you guys can see, Tibbs went to it and it looked pretty good. So that was nice to see. The other thing that I said was, and I still believe this, the fact that now Tibbs is playing this different rotation, this different 9-man rotation or whatever you want to call it, and Grimes is getting his feet under him and he's getting the playing time, part of the starting unit, and Deuce is in there helping with the perimeter defense. I said I was going to take some pressure and burden off of RJ and Randall, but especially RJ, and you were going to start to see RJ play a little better because there's less he has to worry about on the defensive end. He doesn't get exposed as much because you got better help out there, and it's going to help his offense, which in turn, as you guys, I always say this, when you're playing good offense, your effort is a little better on defense. I don't know why that is, but you just feel like you're more in the game. So yeah, I just think that, I hear you, Parrish. But I do know that you are like, you know, you RJ is kind of giving you a migraine, bro. Yeah, man. So Cam from the Kickback is in the building. He said, "What's good, fellas? Peace, prosperity, good health to you and yours. 3 in a row. We going to going to the ship, enjoying the way the team is playing right now. Oh, go Knicks. Yeah, man. I mean, in the end, you know, that's all we want. We just want the product to be good. We want the Knicks to show effort and have a chance to win the games. And if they win, great. Yeah, when everyone is engaged, they all play hard. That's a fact, Hall will. Sherwin said, "iHeart looks good playing the 4. It seems as if the 4 should be his position." Interesting. Yeah, listen. This is how you find things out. But it helps to find things out when you got a coach that is willing to experiment. I don't know. All right, so let me bring this back up. Okay. So guys, I wanted to say something about Julius before we moved on to Mitch. Julius is a weird guy, guys. I don't know if you understand how weird Julius is. Julius to me might be, and I haven't seen this in a long time, Julius might be the one player that who can take a negative basketball play. Negative, it's like a negative trait in basketball. And not only does he not change it, he doubles down on it. And he just said, look, I don't know why I'm doing it. I'm going to continue to do it, and I'm going to do it even more. You know, Julius has a bad habit of jumping in the air and passing the ball, right? It's just one of the things they teach you from grade school. Like for the smallest level, don't do it. He does it all the time. And he's been making some horrible plays with it earlier in the season. Now, all of a sudden, he's making good plays doing it. And not only is he saying, I'm going to keep doing it, I'm going to do it even more. And it's been working out for him. So Julius is a rare person.
But you know it was crazy is that he's not the only one on the Knicks team that does it. See Grimes do it a lot. You know, like a lot of these guys, they I guess they're just accustomed to getting off the floor. It may be some part of the league that when they do sort of that they try to draw the foul when folks are hand checking them, and they sort of get up on the floor and they try to draw the foul and then wait to hear the call and then make a last minute decision whether to pass or shoot. And that may be a part of it. But I think we just grew up in a different era where jumping and passing the ball wasn't a thing. You know, it was sort of frowned upon. Now it isn't frowned upon like it used to be.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never seen and Julius just does it so much. I'm like, sometimes he does it. I'm like, yo, you don't even need to do it there. But it is what it is. If it's working, I'm okay with it. As long as he continues to make the smart decision, okay. It's been working out for him the past couple games. He's made some good plays out of it. But listen, guys, you know why that works, right? Because he's been scoring like 30 points a game. When you're scoring well, the defense doesn't know, listen, he could be going up, he could be making a shot. That's why it's working. Because if Julius ain't playing well on the offensive end, those jump passes are going to turn into turnovers. Mark my words. So, okay, guys, getting back to it. Mitchell Robinson, 3 of 7 from the field. He played 29 minutes, almost 30 minutes, 42% from the field. He didn't shoot any free throws, obviously no threes. He had 13 rebounds, really good on the boards, but, you know, Charlotte was handicapped. They really didn't have anybody there to stop the Knicks from being on the boards. So, you know, kudos to Mitch for getting it done when you know you got the advantage. He had 3 blocks, very good, 6 points. And he had a really good all-around game to help the Knicks with what they were doing out there. I mean, I was a little upset at certain things. I already mentioned it. The up and under play with Terry Rozier twice, letting that happen, knowing you just seen it, and then him letting him do it again. Having an open lane. He parted like the Red Sea, like he was Moses for Miles Plumlee, or I think it's Miles. It's one of the Plumlee brothers. I always forget the first name. Anyway, Plumlee just ran right down the lane in the fourth quarter. That was crazy, that play. But all in all, a pretty good game. John, what did you think about Mitch?
Yeah, again, good defensive game. Grab the boards like we wanted him to grab the boards. You know, I don't expect much from Mitch. I expect him to just be that defensive guy and rim runner. You know what I mean? And when having the opportunity to do so and score some points, do it. You know what I mean? Get there, grab them rebounds, go back up with it. What I want to see him get better at is his putbacks, like being able to grab the boards and not just tip it in, but bring it back down and gather yourself and go back up strong. You know what I mean? And maybe even draw an N1 or, you know, dunk it on someone. He doesn't do that often. He'll grab the rebound and then he's off balance. You know what I mean? So he needs to work on just and it's not strength. It's just composing himself. You got to get better at composing himself, getting his legs underneath him and then going back up strong. You know, and if he works on that, I think he'll be in good shape. He'll get a lot more points than he is getting right now, because right now he'll grab the boards, but he's a bit clumsy. You know what I mean? He's like falling over and trying to pass out of a double team or triple team. You know,
that's a fact. Very true. Very true. Sherwin said we have had 3 wins against bench players. Oh, ouch, Sherwin. Ouch. But you know,
I'm gonna take them how we get them. It is what it is. That's every team. You can say that about every team. You can say that about, because every team is not 100%. Every team's going to have people injured. Star players going to be injured. Not every team is going to be at full strength throughout an entire season. So I'm going to take those wins whenever we can get them. You know what I mean? That's when I talk about getting fat. Let's get fat. You know, get fat for the winter.
That's true.
Ain't nothing wrong with getting fat for the winter, because then, you know, January comes around, you start doing your little sit-ups, get ready for the summer.
There you go. There you go. I like that. Hewlett Samuel in the building. Salute to you, my guy. Appreciate you. Thank you for tuning in. I just had it. What did I lose it? Oh, wait. There you go. JJ said it's fun watching these Knicks defense, but I want to see it versus good teams fully healthy before I fully buy in. That's a fair point. I think a lot of people agree with you. Obviously, Sherwin does. Yes, we'll take what we can get while we can get it, to John's point. but we do want to see how it translates towards these better teams. I actually think the Knicks are going to play pretty well against them, because I think as we get closer to playing these teams that have better rosters and healthy rosters, I think the Knicks have had more time with this unit, with this rotation under their belt, and get a little comfortable. Deuce, to me, is not a good scorer, a good shooter, but he can be adequate with the right amount of usage. And I also think that Deuce is a very good mid-range shooter. I want to I'm sorry if it seems like, kind of jumping all over the place, because I want to save this before when I get to Deuce, but I also don't want to forget this stuff. So let me just say it now. I think that whoever's working with the Knicks, one of those 45 coaches that got behind Tibbs, one of them needs to take RJ and Deuce in a separate practice by themselves and start working on mid-range shots with these guys. RJ should really get into the mid-range game, and they should focus on getting Deuce his mid-range going. And then they should also be playing one-on-one against each other. Deuce will be he's a good defender, so he's going to be making it tough for RJ. RJ, with the extra height, will be making it tough for Deuce, because somebody's got to see over. And as far as foot speed, Deuce doesn't have a great first step, so RJ might be able to guard him pretty well. I think that's a good way for both of them to kind of get better, going, against each other, and then working on that mid-range. And I think you keep doing that, right? And then once they start to get a little bit more comfortable in these practices, just continue to take these shots and get some type of flow. Then you bring in like a Grimes or even a Quickly, but Grimes would be special, and have Grimes get into to playing defense on each of them, and them going back and forth and making it difficult. That's how you kind of progress and develop. My opinion. I just think like RJ and Deuce both should be working on that mid-range.
Yeah, I agree. There's ways that can get done. You know what I mean? Both together and sort of by themselves as well. There's nothing that holds any player other than themselves to put up those shots, right? You got to put them in practice, right? You go out, you hit the gym, and this is what I also share with my son. It's like, I don't need to be defending you for you to play or practice like you're in game mode. You have to have that mentality. I used to go out on a regular mornings, like 8 in the morning, 7 in the morning, go out, put up my shots, and I would always think someone's in front of me. You know what I mean? I would imagine them in front of me and imagine them playing defense on me. And then I will take what I've learned and then just build on that, build that bounce and build that reaction, because that's really where you get it from. You have to have that mentality of, I know how a defender's going to want to defend me, so I'm going to take that away from them before they take it away from me. You know what I mean?
That's smart, guys. That's smart. And listen, part of the way growing up that John and I know each other is because we used to come part of the WB projects. We used to be from 2 different blocks. And so his block had their own squad. My block, we had our own squad. And, more often than not, when we played each other, they got the best of us because they knew how to play good as a team. And you could see, John told you about the work ethic. He's always practicing and thinking there's somebody in front of him. You just look at the game differently. Like, that's how you get better. But they played cohesively. We played, like, our thing is, when we got guys to play on Saturday mornings or whenever we played, we just be calling dudes, yo, we out. Yo, come through. Yo, we need one more. Go get this dude up the block. Yeah. Nah, I know, but he could play. Go get. That's how we put our teams together. These dudes, they had their squad, mostly the same 5, 6 guys, whatever it be, and they played together all the time. They would try. They would go anywhere. You know what I mean? They had a much better cohesion, and they gave it to us a little bit. So it's whatever.
Yeah, it was a bit unfair, right? Because we used to get our shots in before we even came up the block. So we were ready,
and it shows. Anyway, so back to the numbers game, but shout out to the chat once again. Steph is in the building. That's the male Steph, not the female Steph. I hope she's doing well, by the way, on her vacation. We can't wait to see her back the Queen's Court and Dope Soul Sports Talk. But Steph, what's going on, my guy? Good to see you, brother. Always a pleasure. And I think was there another person that I missed? I think I got everybody. Oh yeah, there is. PayPal 718 is in the building. Good to see you, PayPal. Thank you for being here, man. Appreciate you. All right, so
hey Ron, let's not forget. Let's put that link up on the chat because I'm gonna be jumping off in just a few more minutes.
Oh, no problem. No, it's already out there. It's definitely out there. If y'all haven't seen it, and I'll put it again, one more again. There you go. All right, so Quentin Grimes, guys, listen. To me, Quentin Grimes has been the difference maker for this Knicks team for these past 3 games, especially. Played 28 minutes, 4 of 8 from the field, 50%, 1 of 4 from 3, 25%. You know, that 3-point game it's still coming along. You know, he's always been kind of up and down as far as being a Knick, but you the more touches and the more reps he gets, he'll be more consistent, I believe. 2 of 2 from the free throw line. He had 6 rebounds, which is nice to see from your guard. Anytime they can help and contribute on that end is fantastic. He had 1 block. He had 11 points total. But what can't be quantified is the level of defense of intensity that he has, what he does out there, how he makes everybody else on the team better. He covers up mistakes that other guys are making and makes it easier for guys to just play the game because they know they got a guy like Quentin Grimes out there that is playing good defense on the perimeter. What do you think about him, John?
Man, I love Grimes' game. You know what I mean? And especially now that he's being more consistent from the field, I think it's inevitable that this is the reason why. Well, he's inevitable. He'll be a starter in this league for a long time. He has all the tools. He plays hard. He's aggressive. He gets to the basket when needs to. He has good court vision. He has, a decent enough handle to get by defenders. I like everything he has to bring. You know what I mean? He just had to continue to work on his game, and he could. I don't necessarily see him as a star, but I see him as a very, very solid contributor and a secondary player, a guy who can work off the ball easy. And I think you need those guys. You need those guys to show up your offense and defense. He's definitely a good fit for the Knicks. He fits the town. He fits the city. You know what I mean? This is sort of what we like, the type of players we like. So I'm looking forward to seeing him grow and continue to be a Knick. You know what I mean? Just a quick shout out to Dwayne Dennis, our brother from the neighborhood. You know what I mean? Because he's talking about back in the day playing in CYO tournaments.
Yeah. Oh, look at that. Trinity, Most Holy Trinity. Oh, man. Right. Dennis, you a real one, Dennis. Yeah. You know how it is, Dwayne.
I played for the Brooklyn Cavaliers, early on. And so I think I started with that team when I was like 10 years old. It was the first time I joined that team. And I remember playing all around the city and inside of college, gyms. They really gave us an opportunity to see the world a little differently. And then from there I moved on to playing for Riverside and other spots, and local teams as well. We had the Flames, the Williamsburg Flames at one time. It was Coach JR was our guy. We had Kenny P, who used to run a lot of a lot of teams from the inner city Brooklyn. We would run out with them as well. But Ron, love this, man. I'm glad I was able to join you today, but I gotta go and take my oldest daughter out. You know what I'm saying? So I can spend some time with her.
And you got a basketball later.
Basketball game later on, so I gotta show love. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Listen, thank you, John, for being here as always, my brother. I'm gonna see you on Monday. We're gonna do it once again, and then hopefully I'll see you on Thursday again. Listen, still right. Knicks fans, we everywhere.
That's right. We'll do that before I go on break.
There you go. Later,
fellas. Later to the chat. Appreciate y'all. Peace.
Appreciate you, brother. All right. So guys, listen, man, that's really cool. Dwayne Dennis, man. Who knew, man? I didn't know you was from around where we from around, man. That's dope. A lot of good times. I didn't play as much basketball as John. growing up. I was a little late to the mix. I played other things. I was playing football. I was playing baseball. I played for the Caribe Lions and stuff like that. I was supposed to play for the Bonnies. If y'all know, who the Bonnies are. I was supposed to play for them, but something didn't happen right with the coach. They told me that somebody was supposed to reach out to him and call me, and I was supposed to be here, but it just never happened. And then I never followed up. I was one of those, I didn't really care too much about sports when I was young. As I got older, I started to really love it, but it is what it is. Yeah, man. So that's pretty dope. Thanks to John for being here. Thank you to Jay Boogie for being here and rocking as well. And appreciate you guys all. So back to the numbers here. Jalen Brunson, guys, like he played 27 minutes, and look, it is what it is. Jalen hasn't been playing that great these last 3 games. And it's actually been one of those where not only has his shot not been falling the way you'd like to see it, you hope you could see more from him. And he hasn't really shown it too much in these first 2 games of this win streak. But in this 3rd game, he actually did do what you'd like to see from him as far as helping the team get better, take the onus off of yourself. It's not just about you scoring, get back to you being, the point guard that this team needs, because you have all the ability. And he showed it. I mean, in last night's game, he was 3 for 13, 23% shooting, which is really bad. He's just been really struggling. But I'm not worried about him because we know he's a much more efficient player. He's the most efficient player on this team. So I'm not worried about him. He's going to get it back. 1 for 4 from 3. And he was 4 for 4 from the free throw line, which is always a good thing. Like, you can see, like, a guy who knocks down his free throws, he's never really going to struggle for too long with his shot. But for whatever reason, it's just a little off. The touch is a little off. But, I mean, he had 1 rebound. Okay, that's what it is. But 11 assists, guys. And that's what you like to see when a guy knows, hey, I don't got it going, but let me do something else to help the team. 11 assists is big, and it helps move the ball. And, and this Knicks team needs it, quite frankly. So a good, bad game from Jalen Brunson. Let's see here. Miles McBride. Yeah, Miles McBride. Deuce was loose, sort of. He played 23 minutes, 3 for 7 from the field, 42%, 2 of 4 from 3. It's nice to see. And that's the thing with Deuce. Like, I don't think Deuce is a bad shooter. I just think that he is not like I don't even know if he's streaky yet. I can't say he's streaky because Deuce doesn't get enough touches or enough shots. Like, when you're trying to play NBA basketball, you got all this other stuff you got to worry about on defensive end. You got other guys on the team that need to get their touches and get the ball. Deuce doesn't get a lot of opportunity to shoot the basketball. So how can he really form a rhythm? How can you say he's a bad shooter or he's inconsistent when he doesn't get? If Deuce gets to put up 10 shots every game, that's a level of consistency. And you can say, okay, then we can find out if Deuce can shoot it, at a high clip or not. You know what I mean? But he doesn't always get that. He doesn't get those opportunities. So there's something to look at. He was 2 of 2 from the free throw line. He had 1 rebound, 1 assist, 2 steals, 10 points total. But once again, he played really solid defense all night. Solid defense. And those 2 steals, I mean, look at the difference. Look at the team. Look who has the most steals on the team. Deuce with the 2. And he's really good at getting steals, by the way. And 2 actually, is low for him sometimes. When he gets good amount of minutes, he's very effective. That long wingspan, I think he's got like a 6'9" wingspan or 6'10", 6'9", I think. I mean, that's effective. It's effective. And his anticipation is great. Another solid game from Deuce. The Deuce and Grimes train, that train is going hot, and we need it, bro. We need it. Emmanuel Quickly, 27 minutes played, 4 of 11 from the field, 36%, 3 of 7 from 3, 42%. He had 2 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 turnovers, 11 points. I guess this is a decent game from Quickly. He also played pretty good defense for the most part, but the whole Knicks team played good defense against these Charlotte Hornets because, they didn't really have a lot of weapons out there. So it is what it is. I don't know. I think Quickly had a decent game. He could have gave you more, but I think other guys in this Nick team stepped up, right? Like Brunson gave you the assists. Grimes was getting rebounds. Like those 6 rebounds, normally Grimes probably would get a few less, and Deuce and Quickly would get the others. Like Quickly is a very good rebounder. So I think it's just one of those games where, whatever was available was available. I mean, the Knicks did really good. Guys had 8, 6, 13, 7, 7, like rebounds was going around. So there wasn't much for Quickly to really clean up. But I think he did well. Isaiah Hartenstein, 18 minutes played, 5 of 5 from the field, 100%, 1 of 1 from 3, 100%. He had 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 blocks, 11 points in 18 minutes. That's an incredibly effective stat line. Probably just for that amount of minutes, one of the best moments we've seen Hartenstein as a Knick. He looked real comfortable, really good. And of course, when you shoot perfect, that's always a good thing. So I think he played well. I like what Sherwin said. Hartenstein looks good at the 4. And I agree. This is what I'm saying. Like, you got to be, and this is what gets me a little upset when it comes to Tibbs. You got to be willing to try to experiment. Like, if you know that you got Mitchell Robinson, who is a down low player, you know what I mean, guys? A player who plays in the paint. Right, you got Jericho Sims, who's another player that plays in the paint, and then you got the only guy who might be able to live out there in the perimeter a little bit in Hartenstein. Why wouldn't you experiment and play around with that lineup, and then go? A lot of the league is playing small ball. Why wouldn't you try to go combat that with trying to put 2 bigs out there, but that are one that's dynamic, and you can put him on the perimeter and still have the presence of a Mitch or of a Jericho down low. I mean, I don't think that's a crazy experiment. Like, why wouldn't you try to do that? This is why I get a little mad at Tibbs sometimes, because the creative bag is not always there. He's doing things now out of necessity. If Obi wasn't hurt, we wouldn't see this at all. And it looks pretty good to me. I know it caught the right matchup, but I think it could work against other teams too. Just saying. And then to round out, we got Jericho Sims, who played 12 minutes, 1 of 2 from the field. He had 2 rebounds, 1 assist. But I think, in Jericho's defense, there wasn't really much for him to do as far as grabbing rebounds. Other guys were doing it before, were catching it before he was catching it. And I think that he did what we needed him to do at that moment. If we needed him to do more, he could have done more for us. But everybody, for the most part, the team played very well. And like we mentioned earlier, 7 guys in double figures. This was kind of an easy game. And so, things just played out the way they did. And then you had Svi Mikhailuk, who played 2 minutes, which is probably the most we've seen him play. And that rounded it out, guys. Let's see. Just wondering. Yeah. For Charlotte, Kelly Oubre had 22 and Terry Rozier had 24. And a lot of that, I think he had 12 going through the third quarter. So I think he scored 12 in the fourth. Yeah, he caught fire quick. He got hot. And then just to get through the rest of the game charts, really quickly. Okay, so the Knicks had 48 rebounds to Charlotte's 45. Knicks had 25 assists to Charlotte's 16. We had 6 steals to their 8. We had 7 blocks to their 6. 11 turnovers to their 12. So the assist to turnover ratio for the Knicks, 25 to 11, is pretty good. For Charlotte, that was bad. 16 to 12 was horrible. From the field, they both shot 44%. From 3-point range, I mean, listen, if the Knicks shoot 38%, 1, they should win the game, and 2, that's a good look because they're not a 38% from the 3-point line type of team. But that's a great thing. And once again, shout out and kudos to them. They shot 86% from the free throw line. Got to clap it up for them. Charlotte shot 78%, which is not a bad number, but the Knicks just shot that much better. So points in the paint was tied, 54-54. Second chance points, the Knicks had 28 to 12. Very nice. And fast break points, Charlotte had 18 to the Knicks 13. But I always have a feeling I like this when the Knicks can win, these three, it's great. But if they can win 2 out of 3, they have a good chance of winning the game. So yeah, that's what it was looking like, guys. I think that was a good game from the Knicks. They did what they needed to do. As John likes to say, you got to get fat on the teams you need to get fat on. Like they should have beat Charlotte, and they did. So that's good to see. Shout out to the chat once again. Appreciate y'all. Eric Surreal is in the building. I see you, Eric. Good to see you. Big Lou is here. What's good, Big Lou? Appreciate you. Big Lou. Let me see. I got Eric. I saw another name or two that I saw here. There's Eric. Grimes and Deuce defense has changed this team. That's a fact. Big Lou said, every time I watch our Knicks, I continue to ask, what does Tibbs do with offense? You got Cam there and you do not play him. Keith Turner said, we just don't know where this team is. You measure them against good competition, and we have yet to beat any comp like that. That's true. That's a fact. El Servy's in the building. He said Julius has a toddler mentality. That may be true. Yeah, it's good that we didn't play down to the competition, Anna Grill. That is true. At least in this case, in this instance, that's good. Hex says Jalen's going to be all right. Yep, I agree. I think he'll be fine. Sherwin said you can be efficient if you can't defend. Brunson can't defend. Are you? Oh, I guess the T got chopped off. You're trying to say you can't be efficient if you don't defend? That's not true. I mean, it's two sides of the basketball. You play offense, you play defense. How can you not be efficient on offense when you are efficient? The numbers are the numbers. This is what it is. You can say that he can't be efficient on defense. That's fine. That's a separate statement. Is he okay? Let's say it like this. He's a very efficient offensive player, one of the most efficient offensive players in the NBA. Prove me wrong. Show me stats that don't show that. For his career, show me that he doesn't shoot 50% from the field. Show me that he doesn't shoot what he shoots from the free throw line. Show me that consistently he doesn't shoot what he shoots from 3, and from the from the corner, he doesn't shoot like 40% from 3. Show me. I'm waiting. The defensive end, I get what you're trying to say, Sherwin. I always understand you're big on defense. Your mentality is pride on defense, and you want to see the best from your team. No matter what the product is out there, who the players are, you want them to be defensive minded. I get it. But you can't shortchange the role of offensive players who are good at what they do. Normally, Jalen Brunson doesn't shoot this bad and from the offensive end, and he's very good. He's usually very efficient. It's a high level. And I bet you that if you look at most teams in the league, especially the elite teams, each one of those teams has a player on their team that is very skilled offensively and may not be that great defensively. I'm not saying the whole team is made up of that, but there's usually a player like that on each of these teams, the elite teams especially, that is good offensively and may struggle defensively. But you make up for it because you got better players to fill out the roster. That's all I'm saying. But I hear you, bro. I hear you. It takes two halves to make a whole. Yes, of course. I agree. But that's why I'm not saying that he is something he's not. No one here can confuse Jalen Brunson with being a high-level defensive player. I think we all know that. Sean Kern said fans need to be patient with RJ. RJ needs to be patient. Let the game come to him. Only 22 and having a tough year. Folks just upset since his name was in trade talks and the front office didn't do it. Yeah, listen, there's something to that. I think what's happening too, Sean Kearns, is when your team is struggling, when you don't know exactly what your identity is, and you're looking for guys to improve and step up, and you've given them money, fans look at these guys like, okay, we watched this for 3 years. This is the 4th year. We expect you to be better. We expect you to have, like, every year you get off to a slow start. Maybe, say, I'm just throwing numbers out there. Maybe it takes RJ 10 games every year to get right. At a certain point, you start to hope that, okay, that number drops. Like, instead of 10 games this year, it'll take him 8 or 7. You know what I mean? You expect improvement. You expect less of the bad. And then now that he's got his money, they really, expect less of it. And you also expect here's the problem with RJ for me, Sean. It's the whole game that's been an issue. On the defensive end, he's never looked worse. And offensively, it's okay if you're the type that has a slow start. I can deal with it as long as we got other guys in the team that step up and do what they got to do while you get your game together. Problem with RJ is not only has he had a slow start, but he's been bad defensively, and his basketball IQ has looked very poor, and he hasn't trusted his teammates. He's been making all types of selfish acts out there on the court, not passing the ball, not moving the ball, really forcing the issue, putting the Knicks in bad situations, making really stupid turnovers and stuff. That's stuff that I haven't really seen too much of in the past from RJ. I'm not saying he's perfect. There was spells last year when Julius and him were going nut and they were making turnovers out the wazoo. But he was playing smarter basketball. Like, it wasn't always like that. Like, he had really good moments, and his bad moments weren't that bad. Like, this year, he's made some really horrible decisions. And to me, it's crazy. And the selfishness has just gotten worse. Like, the going for self is something he got to change, man. I love RJ, bro, but I don't like what I'm seeing when it comes to his mentality. Now, lately, I've seen the past couple games, and it's not because the Knicks are winning. It's just I see that he looks like he's trying to do better. He's trying to be smarter. He's trying to get a little bit more aggressive, and he's also moving the ball a little bit more. But last night's game, you've seen it. There's a couple plays where he doesn't pass the ball, and he's got guys open. He's still kind of got to get out of that whole selfish thing. Good, but I do know that's a good player trait, good offensive player trait. Michael Jordan, Kobe Bryant, Carmelo Anthony, and I'm not comparing RJ to them, but I'm just saying these are the type of players, they have that selfish gene in them. When they got it going or when they're gonna get it going, they go for self. So you start to see that type of stuff, but that's not the mentality RJ should have. He's not those type of players, and that's not what this Knicks team needs. This Knicks team needs to be one. Like, the Big 15, remember that whole mantra? We need to go back to that. We need to move the ball, trust each other, believe in each other. And each guy, if you get everybody involved, they'll step up. It'll turn into something. So I hope RJ buys into that, man. I hope he does. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Smash that like button, guys. I see we got 69 people in here right now. Hit that like button, show your love on your way in, on your way out, whatever you got going on this beautiful Saturday. Please do that and show your love and support for the show. We could definitely use it. Jersey Shore is in the building. What's good? Jersey Shore. So he said, so what you are saying is that RJ is being poorly coached. Jersey Shore. Yes. I'm sorry. I hate to be that guy, but I think I've been kind of saying it. If you guys watch each show, every time I talk about RJ, I do tell you this is Tibbs' fault. I do say RJ's mentality is Tibbs' fault. I do say some of RJ's poor habits is Tibbs' fault because he's letting it continue. He's letting it happen. He's letting it develop. Instead of developing a player the way they should develop positively, continue to grow and doing those type of systems, putting those systems in place, you're developing bad habits. You're allowing guys like RJ, not just RJ, it could be Julius, it could be anybody. When you start to see a pattern of bad play or not smart basketball play, You got to nip it in the bud right away. You see, whenever the Knicks are playing out there, you see Tibbs calls a timeout when he sees certain guys. The Knicks could be up 20. When he sees certain things, he timeout right away. And these are good timeouts. I think Tibbs is very good at calling timeouts at good times. I think he does that well. Nothing wrong with that. But see how he can nip that in the bud right away? Why is he not nipping bad basketball play in the bud right away? You know, why, when you see bad habits, that you're not correcting them immediately? Remember Obi's rookie season? Not Quickly so much. I think Quickly had a longer leash. Remember Obi's rookie season where as soon as Obi made one mistake, he was yanked. He was out of there. Tibbs was yelling at him and then getting him out of there quickly. You can't necessarily do that with a guy like RJ. He's $100 million man, and you don't want to try to embarrass him or affect his psyche. But why not, you know, you see RJ go down the court and he's got a guy open on the wing and maybe even another guy open on the other side. And he goes and takes it into the lane against 2 or 3 defenders and doesn't make that pass when he should. Why can't you, once that possession is over, is he coming back down the court? Tibbs, why can't you just, you know, yo, RJ, come on, don't do that. I don't want to see that. Anything, just, you know, it doesn't have to be crazy. You don't got to scream it so everybody knows what the hell you're talking about. Why can't you say something and try to nip it in the bud right away? And then if RJ goes down the court later and does it again, then you know what? Timeout, or, you know, get somebody off the bench and take him out of there. And then you can talk to him again. RJ, listen, I had to take you out, man. You continuing to do the same thing that we talked about. We can't do that, man. It's not how we're going to win games. We got to move the ball. All right. Can't be selfish. Don't go up against 2-3 guys like that. You got guys wide open on the perimeter. I'm not a coach, but that seems like common sense to me. Tibbs is doing some stuff that doesn't make sense. He's promoting some bad habits, especially with RJ. As much as it looked like, you know, he picks on RJ and makes him the scapegoat. Oh, he's got to get in the lab. He's got to get on the practice court. He's got to do this. He's got to do that. I think he really loves RJ and believes in him, but almost to a fault, because I think he lets him get away with too much. Same thing for Julius Randle. We talked about accountability. We know that he doesn't hold Julius accountable. But the only thing is with Julius, he's a different guy. And, you know, as much as we want to hate on Julius, Julius knows what he needs to do out there. He has the ability to do it. It's just when he wants to do it. As you can see right now, this year, he wants to do it. He wants to take over games. He wants to do certain things, and he's doing it. RJ maybe doesn't have the same ability or the mentality. I don't know, but it doesn't look the same. Let's see. Big Lou says our Knicks need to play unselfish play and not ISO. I agree with you. Yeah, Anna Grill says he's not held accountable. Yep. Jersey says don't apologize for facts. Yeah, I hear you, bro. What's good, Ashley Inc? What up, Wiz? Good to see you. He said RJ is a hybrid shooting guard, small forward, power forward that doesn't quite fit in any of these positions with limited skills in each area. I agree that RJ's poor habits and mentality are primarily Tibbs' fault. Yeah. There's no sugarcoating it. It is what it is, guys. You got to look at it. Like, you know, if I'm a coach and I'm a coach of Tibbs' stature, and I see something going on out there, and I'm like, what? Why is this happening? I'm not going to just be throwing my hands up and yelling at the refs. Yell at RJ. Well, no, don't yell at RJ, but I'm saying make RJ aware of that you're not happy with what he's doing, or any player on the team. You got to nip these poor habits. And Popovich, who is like they're in that class, Popovich, Tibbs, and this older coach regime. Popovich ain't gonna let that stuff rock. You know, he sees a little poor play or something that he's already talked to guys about, and he sees it happen more than once. Gotta talk to you, buddy. I don't understand it. I don't get it. E. Gibson said, when you sign $120 million contract, you don't deserve excuses. You show why you deserve that money. RJ is not a second round developmental player pick. Yeah, it's true. You got to step up and show that, you know, your sum of all parts is greater than the average player. When you make $100 million, listen, you're not an average NBA player, and you can't play like that. Your mentality can't be that way either. $100 million don't grow on trees. If you make $100 million, you got to be doing something right. One, for them to give it to you, and two, to show that you continue to deserve that money. You owe it to your team, you owe it to yourself, you owe it to the fan base. Just my opinion. Jersey Shore said he's only 22. Treat him as such. Get in his butt. Facts. Don't coddle him. I mean, coddle him and I mean, we already got one guy that you don't tell anything to, Julius Randle. But Julius Randle is 27, 28 years old, whatever. He's been in the league. His poor habits or whatever his habits are ingrained. You know what I mean? You're not going to change Julius Randle to too much at this point. But RJ is 22, only been in the league 4 years. He can still be turned around, or at least you can get some of these bad habits out of him before they continue. Like, you got to do that. D-Ras is in the building. What's good? Salute. Appreciate you. Smash that like button, guys. And let me do this too, just in case if anybody wants it. I'll put the link in the chat. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy. If you want to come in and talk on the panel, by all means. I mean, I could hold it down and rock by myself. I'm just saying, if y'all want to, by all means, you're welcome. You know what I mean? This is a safe space. E. Gibson said, if you run a business and your highest paid player is the guy flipping fries, you have a problem. I hear that, brother. I hear that. Tibbs isn't the reason RJ is still struggling at the rim in his 4th season. That's true, JJ. Like I said, this is not all on Tibbs. RJ is his own man. He has to blame. He's to blame for some of his own faults. However, bad basketball IQ, bad decision making, that's Tibbs. Like, RJ may be making the bad plays, but Tibbs is the one allowing it to continue to happen. Now, RJ not finishing at the rim or RJ taking poor shots, that's an issue on RJ. It's the actual thing. The action is on the player, right? But the coach is the one that is going to allow the action to continue. Goes hand in hand. It's on both of them. But really, the poor play and the poor habits is on Tibbs to allow that to continue to happen and not correct it and fix it before it gets out of hand and it becomes a game, every game situation. One thing can happen in one game doesn't mean it needs to happen the same way in the next, and that's a problem for me. D-Ras, black coffee, no sugar with clove. I hear you, brother. Dwayne Dennis says, so this team has to make some smart moves quickly, and Grimes and Toppin will be due new contracts next year. So that means decisions have to be made sooner than later. They already have Randle and Brunson. Dwayne Dennis, you are 100% correct. I said this earlier this season. I said it in the off season coming into it. I said this is a make or break year for a lot of players on this Knicks team. Make or break year for Derrick Rose. Not really, Derrick Rose is 34 years old. When you say make or break, what does that mean? For him, it means if he doesn't show us something special this year, then we have to move on from Derrick Rose. We have a little bit of loyalty towards him because he did, come here and help us a lot in that the season when we had the 4th seed. Tibbs has a loyalty and allegiance to him. He has that same thing towards Tibbs. But at a certain point, when you're playing a guy, whatever minutes it is, and you're paying him $14 million a year, you still got to expect a certain level of, basketball play. And, at this age, maybe it's a little tougher for him. Or the other thing is, like, he might fit on another team that doesn't need as much out of him. We've got some issues, so we need a lot out of certain players. So that's why I say it's make or break for Rose. And I think at this point, it's already been decided. I think Rose is not coming back next year. If anything, he might be traded this year. So that panned out already. The other thing was RJ Barrett. I thought it was make or break for him because he needs to show that he's worth getting a contract extension and all that. The mistake is the Knicks decided to pay him right away. And I definitely think a lot of people have already said this, but I definitely think that was a mistake. They should have kind of held that over his head and waited until the season was over, or even if you wanted to do the contract extension at the midpoint of the season, so that at least you could see how RJ played, a good sample size, and kind of light a fire under him, make him, give him a little incentive. Listen, I got to do what I got to do. I need to get my money. They messed up there. So the make or break part for RJ, it's already broke. He made it. So, and it hasn't really turned out that great so far, but he'll turn it around. I do believe that the addition of Deuce and Grimes in the lineup on the defensive end, taking some pressure off RJ, is going to allow him to focus on getting back to better offensive basketball play, and he'll even look a little better on defense. So I think you're going to see the next few games, as long as Tibbs continues to roll with these lineups, you're going to see RJ play better, in my opinion. I don't know. I'm not a Swami. I don't predict the future. So the other thing is, I also thought it was a make or break for Evan Fournier and Julius Randle. I think Julius has stepped up. He's played very well. He hasn't been that much of a headache. You see him chirping a little bit with the refs, but for the most part, he's stayed in check, man. He's been, I got to give him props. Got to give him kudos. He's playing really well, for the most part, really well. So, Fournier is not playing at all, so it is what it is. Another guy that I thought make a break for is Cam. I thought Cam really needed to step up and show that he is worth getting a contract extension from the Knicks or any other team. Do I think he's done enough? No. See, that's where I think people get a little confused. Do I think Cam has done enough to show me that I need to invest in him? My opinion, no. But do I see the potential that his defense is pretty good? It's effective. I could use him on my team. Do I think that his offensive game there's still potential there? Yes. I haven't seen enough on the offensive. I actually been more impressed with his defense than his offense. So he's kind of in limbo. He's in the twilight zone. I don't know what to say about Cam. He's still got to do some work, man. And I don't know. He's not gonna get the opportunity with these Knicks. It looks like he's burned the bridge. And as much as he keeps saying that I didn't ask for a trade, come on, guys. He asked for a trade, because there's no reason why Tibbs wouldn't have played him, especially when Obi went down. You're throwing in Svi Mikhailuk and these guys, and late in the game instead of Cam. Yeah, he burned his bridges, right? He definitely asked for a trade, and now they're not going to play him until they trade him out of here, most likely. Unless something else happens, unless more people go down. But, yeah, it looks like the writing's on the wall for Cam. Sorry, but that's how it looks to me. I also think it's make or break for two other guys. It's make or break for Emmanuel Quickly, and it's make or break for Obi Toppin. Quickly, to me, has been playing okay. I think his defense has been pretty decent. I think the Knicks can build with him if he's here. Do I think they have to? No. I could easily move on from Quickly. If I can get better players in here that give me something that I've been missing, maybe I can get somebody that plays similar to Quickly but is taller, and plays that similar type of defense, but he's more effective because he's taller. Maybe he's a better slasher, but he can still shoot a little bit. That to me, that's an upgrade. But I don't necessarily want to trade Quickly, but I could see that you could move on from him. Obi Toppin is a big question mark for me. I'm a big Obi guy. I'm always saying it's Obi season, all this stuff. But look, if the Knicks decide to trade Obi Toppin, at this point, I'm okay with it, because Obi hasn't shown me enough at any level for me to say he solidified his spot here. He's a poor defender. He had me screaming at my TV the other day because he's letting a small 6'2", 6'3" guy go up on with a layup against him, and he's slapping at the ball like he's a guard instead of meeting him at the highest point, showing that level of athleticism and blocking the shot or making an attempt. Instead, you want to swipe the ball like you're Jalen Brunson. What are we doing here? Like, I don't like that type of stuff. That mentality, the way he plays, I don't like it. I think he's a good dude, great guy. Love having him on the Knicks. Great spirit. I just need to see more from him. I need to see more aggressiveness on the offensive end. I don't need to see my athletic power forward turn into a jump shooter. I don't need to see that. If anything, watch some Corey Maggette videos or something. You know, uh, look at some Rashard Lewis videos, or I don't know. Look at somebody and figure out their game. Corey Maggette probably would be the best person to look at. Look at Corey Maggette's game. Look how he slashed and got to the rim. He could shoot a little bit, but he was dynamite in the paint. Like, come on, Obi, let's get it together. Especially when next year is the year that you're going to be up for a contract extension. You got to show me more. So if they decide to trade him, look, who could be mad? Especially the way Julius is playing. Now, I will tell you guys, even though Julius has looked great, I trade him in a heartbeat. I know it's hard to say that. I even saw a video on Twitter last night of the Knicks warming up and Julius dancing and getting his groove on. He was doing all types of stuff. I was like, okay, Julius, guess what? I trade you in a heartbeat because now you're playing at the level where I can get something for you. The Knicks made a mistake last time in the almighty, as state of the Knicks would say, almighty fourth year, the fourth season. They didn't trade him. They believed in him. Nothing wrong with that. But in hindsight, they might have made a mistake. Now you're getting a second time around, a second chance. He's playing well. In the end, this Knicks team, the way you're building it, is he going to be here to lead you to the promised land? I don't think so. And if you feel the same way as a front office, which I think you should, you got to move on. You have to do it. Now's the best time. It could get a little better. He could show even a little bit more consistency, but it could also get worse. Get the getting while the getting's good. That's all I'm saying. As soon as you have a moment that you can actually officially trade him, you might have to look to doing it. That's all I'm saying, guys. I know for some Knicks fans are going to be pissed off about that because you're like, yo, what more do you want? Julius is playing well. He's cleaned up his act. Yeah, he makes little barking at the refs and stuff, but he looks way better than he did last year. He's playing. He's giving you all. We're winning games because of him. Why would you want to trade him? Because that's what a team who's trying to become better does. You make a business move that makes sense. This is your second chance at doing it. You better take it while you can, because if the shoe flips, I don't want to be here to hear the backlash. Just saying. All I'm saying. And also, the fact that Julius is playing so well might allow them to move another player without having to give up, first round pick assets or young players that you don't want to part with. Maybe you could package Julius with Fournier and whatever else you want to do to give up to get something. And you don't have to give up a first round pick, or you don't have to put Cam in that deal. Cam can go somewhere else, right? Or you don't have to throw quickly in the deal to make it happen. I'm just saying, you got to think about it that way. Anna Grill said Tony Parker got yelled at extensively. I know, because I know who Popovich is. Popovich don't play. He sees something, he's going to let you know. That's right. It's a fact. D Coolis is in the building. Salute. What's good? Appreciate you. Good to see you, man. Mike Boy says, I don't know. Tibbs probably criticizes RJ in private. I blame RJ for his horrible play. Yeah, but that's the thing, Mike Boy. I don't doubt that Tibbs talks to all of these guys in private. I'm telling you that most coaches, the coaching doesn't stop when you get into game mode. It keeps going, and then your integration of how you deal with players and develop players has to continue as well. Like that same preaching. Fans at the games, all they hear is Tibbs yelling and screaming at dudes for where they need to be at spots or whatever. But that's got to extend to every aspect of the game. Positively, reinforcement to help guys when you see good things. That's fine. But also, you have to point out everything that's going on, and negative tendencies, poor basketball plays, poor passes, bad shot taking. You got to let these players know whether they're not they're making $400,000 or making $30 million, per year. You got to let them all know. So that's what I'm saying. JJ said, I hear you, Ron. Is tunnel vision something that can improve, or is it a thing that's hard to fix? I think it can improve depending on, the type of player. And, it doesn't matter. A lot of factors, the type of player it is and the age, and the role. You know what I mean? Like, Julius Randle, he doesn't necessarily have tunnel vision. He just goes to get his. So I don't say he has tunnel vision. But if he had tunnel vision, it'd be kind of hard to change that. Guy's been in the league like 8 years, whatever it's been. I don't know what it's been, but a good amount of years. That's tough. RJ been in the league 4 years. If he's got tunnel vision, which the other thing is, remember, first year RJ didn't have tunnel vision. Second year RJ didn't have tunnel vision. He started getting tunnel vision last year when he started to say, and he told everybody, he's like, "Oh, my goal this year was to get 20 points per game." You saw it, especially in the fourth quarters. He was going after them 20 points per game. That's when he started to develop the tunnel vision. And this year it's been worse. Like this, I've never seen RJ chuck so much. Like this has been bad. So yeah, I think you can change it. I think it's still early, but Tibbs got to hold people accountable and stop this madness before it continues. Or guess what? You fire Tibbs. That's right. Fire Tibbs. And I know the Knicks have been playing good. I know he's changed the rotation. He's gone to 9 men. He's been incorporating Grimes, incorporating Deuce. They look good. Guess what, guys? I'd still fire Tibbs because you know what? In the end, Tibbs has done enough for me to say I don't like enough of what he does as a coach right now at this day and age. I don't want him here. His rotations are spotty. He's only doing what he's doing right now out of necessity, guys. If guys weren't hurt, you wouldn't see certain lineups. If guys, played better, would he ever give Deuce a shot to play? If Rose play, and I'm not saying, of course, you want if guys play better, they deserve to play. But I'm just saying, like, you got assets that you don't use, even in situations. I point back to last year. How many games that we blew when we had 20-point leads and we're watching guards light us up and there's no answer, and you got Deuce sitting on the bench or Cam sitting on the bench. When the game is getting out of hand or you're getting blown out or your big lead is getting chopped in half tremendously, like there's no stopping. Why wouldn't you call a timeout, come back in with a different lineup? Let me put Deuce on Malik Monk, see what he can do. Let me put Deuce on who was it? Was it Cam Thomas from the Nets? I always confuse those two Cams, Cam from Phoenix and Cam from the Nets. I think it's Cam Thomas on the Nets. When Cam Thomas was lighting it up. And in fairness, Grimes was on him a lot in that game. He still got lit up. But, just saying, if Grimes can't do it, try Deuce. I'm willing to experiment to continue to get a win. Okay. I don't care if you're the 13th guy on the bench. If my starters and my bench can't stop a player and we're about to lose the game or the game is getting away from us to that point and we're going to lose, I'm going to try something because I know this guy's an NBA player and I'm coaching him up in practice. I'm telling him what he needs to do. I just need him to come in and maybe try to slow this guy down. Doesn't mean he's going to stay in the whole game. Just need to slow him down. I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I don't think there's anything wrong with, Taj Gibson is in there playing 35 minutes and you got no backup at the position and Jericho Sims is sitting on the bench. I know I keep going back. That's like my go-to when I want to criticize Tibbs. But this is the mentality that doesn't make sense to me. How are you going to play this guy who came out of retirement to come to the team? So it already tells you he wasn't playing ball. He's older now. You got him playing 35 minutes instead of going to a youthful guy who has some athletic ability that you can put out there and spell some minutes. Even if he goes in there and gets 5 fouls, doesn't care. You're giving Taj some time to recoup, to get better. Whatever. All right, guys. I'm sorry. I get on my tirades when I start talking about Tibbs. But I do feel like they do need to let him go still. Cam has showed more than enough in your eyes. Cam hasn't showed. You're talking about investing millions of dollars in a player, Sherman. How many points does Cam average per game? You know what I mean? When you need a big shot, is Cam the guy who makes it? I know he made one. Don't get me wrong. I know he made that 1-3 to tie the game against Memphis. They still lost. I know what he did, but is he that guy? Is he your go-to guy? He doesn't have to be in order to get money. I'm just saying, is he that guy? Has he shown that offensively he can't be stopped? I don't know. I'm just looking for things. I'm not saying, I'm just pointing at things. Like, has Cam showed you the consistency on the offensive end? On the defensive end, I think he's been very solid, very good. What I keep him here, and this is another thing. I'm trying to, and I'm sorry, guys. I like to try to give you all the angles of it. It's not just about, is Cam worth giving money? It's also about how much Cam thinks he's worth. You want to say, oh, listen, we'll bring Cam back. We'll give him 50, 60 million. Maybe Cam don't want 50, 60 million. Maybe Cam wants 80, 90, 100 million. We don't know what Cam wants. You know what I mean? And 100 million may be a little bit much. I mean, you have to be realistic. Even his agent might tell him, this is a little crazy. But could Cam get Keldon Johnson money or Lou Dort money? That's 80 million right there. Yeah. Do you want to give RJ Bryant, RJ Barrett 100 million, Julius Randle 100 million, Jalen Brunson 100 million, and Cam Reddish 80 million? Do you think that's a smart investment as a team? Do you think that team's going to win with those four guys? Are they going to be an elite defensive team, elite offensive team, elite team in the league to win a championship? You tell me, Sherwin. Is that your four? That's how I look at it. From a business standpoint, if I was a GM for this team or if I was in the front office, I'd be looking at what I gave money to. First, I wouldn't have given RJ the money that early anyway. He would have to prove something. As I said, Brunson, I'm okay with. Julius, you can't be mad at it because not only did you give him the money, but he played well and you gave him the money and he took a discount because he could have got more than 116 or whatever it was. I'm okay with that. But I don't know. That's how I look at it. Sorry if it may be different from how you may see it, but that's just how I look at it. It's just my opinion. You're entitled to yours, and I will always share it, Sherwin. Salute to Geraldine McIver, the first lady of Still Knick fans and the Knick community in the building. Let's go. Let's go, Geraldine. Let's go. Good to see you. Keith Turner says, okay, hold on. E. Gibson said, I don't think they have handled Cam properly, would have been giving him time and let him build his confidence. That's agreed. That's true. But let's not also forget the other thing about Cam. Outside of him just being out there playing, he gets hurt. He does get hurt. And that slows down the progress of everything. But you're right. It's I don't know what they're doing right now. It's unfair. I don't think Cam deserved any of this. But guys, we don't know everything. They said Cam requested a trade. Cam's denying it. Same thing he did in Atlanta. But obviously something's going on because he's not playing. So he probably did. Maybe the Knick brass in the front office and Tibbs see it as a slap in the face. We traded for you. You just asked for a trade over there. Now you're here with us and you're asking for a trade again. Maybe they're like, okay, can't rock with this guy. We don't know what's going on. We don't know how much chirping is going on because this Knick team, we don't hear anything, nor should we. We don't know what's going on behind the scenes. We don't know how Cam is. Maybe Cam talks a lot of mess. We don't know anything. Keith Turner said, I don't blame Cam not one bit. It's been a disaster since he's been here, and I was so excited when we first got him. That's all true. I agree with you. I thought Cam was going to make a difference on this team. I thought he was going to get the playing time. I mean, we got Cam for Kevin Knox. I thought, are you kidding me? I was ecstatic. I don't know, bro. And you're right, E. Gibson. What other athletic wing type players do we have? Cam is it. Felicia Lee, trading IQ will come back to haunt this franchise. Just you wait. He probably goes to the Heat, starts, and gets real coaching. I don't doubt it, Felicia. 100%. You're not lying. Like I said, would I trade Emmanuel quickly? Yes. For the right deal, if it makes sense, yeah, I would do it. But would I want to build with Quickly too? Yeah, I don't mind. I would rather keep Quickly than Obi at this point. That's how it is. I would. Obi is soft to even wear a Knicks uniform. The sooner he's gone, the better. Maybe true. He keeps saying, I don't want to move Cam or IQ. Then we have Fournier sitting there making 18 million benches for his front office malpractice. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And then Cam does still have motor issues. I think people forget it. The problem with Cam is you only see spurts of Cam. Whenever you give Cam consistent time, he shows you he's Jekyll and Hyde. He gives you two different sides of him. And Atlanta knew it best, man. I hate when we get caught in the moment and people forget. Cam has been in this league just as long as RJ. People have seen a lot of him, especially Atlanta. There's a reason why they didn't play him as much as you think he should have been played. There's a reason why instead of building with him, they decided to go out there and get guys that play his position. Just saying. But I hear you guys. He's a special. He looks like he could be a special talent. We still haven't seen it. Not everything, should I say. Geraldine says, I don't understand why everyone wants to trade Randall. Who are we trading him for? I mean, obviously, Geraldine, I hear you. It's good to see our players doing well, and Randall deserves all the kudos. He's been great this year. But remember, I'm going to go back to it before. That year when he played well, when we made the playoffs, people were talking like we should have traded Randall then. Even when it was happening, before we got to the trade deadline, people were like, maybe we should move Randall. There was critics and different people like, Randall, his value has never been higher. The Knicks decided to keep him. And we saw what happened the next year, almost a total collapse. Now, granted, he could just be having a bad year, and maybe this year is more of what you can expect from Randall going forward. That's true. It is true. You don't know. But my point is, even at Randall's best, as a team, do you think that this Knicks team can win with him consistently, make the playoffs, and possibly make a huge run? That's the question you got to ask. If you feel like the answer is yes, then you keep Randall and you ride out with him. Maybe Randall's not the issue. Maybe if you put all these other players around Randall and good defensive player, good defensive wing, another type of scorer, and you have Brunson, maybe that's all you need. Because I do agree that if you put Randall on a Miami or on maybe not Miami, I don't know if they need Randall though, but like if you put him on a Miami or on a Milwaukee or a Phoenix or Dallas, I think Randall's going to make those teams better. And he might be the missing piece because they got everything else. So, but are you confident that the Knicks can build up the rest of the team like a Milwaukee or like a Phoenix so that Randall can show you what he can really give to us? I don't know if that's going to take some time. And Randall's 28 years old, I think, right now. So how much more of this top-notch Randall you going to get? I'm just thinking big picture. That's why I look at it like that. If you guys remember in the offseason, what I kept saying and what other people have said too, is the goal this year should be to try to build up Randall, build up his value, and then try to trade him. Well, guess what, guys? His value is starting to get higher. It's building up, and we're at that point. Now this is where you make the tough decision. Who wants to move off of a player that's playing well? A team that knows that they're not going to get better if they don't do it. I could be wrong. I don't got a crystal ball in front of me. The way I look at it now, because we've already seen how this Knicks team and how this Knicks organization works. But I hear you, Geraldine. It's tough. It's tough to try to even think about moving on from a guy who's playing this well for you at this moment. Keith Turner says Randall is Dolan's boy. He ain't going nowhere. Anyways, just some fans don't accept it. It is a chance that Randall will be here to stay. It's true. Randall is the head of CAA, the NWO of the NBA. He basically Hulk Hogan. That's dope. I hear you, Keith Turner. Dwayne Dennis says, "Hey, how many coaches are on each team? You have an associate coach, maybe 4 assistant coaches. What did they all do? They all better be talking and working with the players that need it." I agree, dude. I don't know how many coaches we got, but I feel like I see 8 or 9 guys behind Tibbs on the bench. Maybe, in fairness, maybe 6 or 7. But there's a lot of people out there. 4 or 5 of them maybe coaches, 2 guys, maybe analytic dudes or whatever the hell they're doing over there. Then obviously you got the other people that aren't in the suits that look like trainers and stuff of that nature. But there's a lot of people behind Tibbs. Thunny Got It is in the building. What's going on, Thunny? Appreciate you. Thunny Got It. I don't know. These are not true. Tibbs benched Rose for Deuce and Evan for Grimes. I don't know if you were referring to me or someone else in the chat, but I can say that, yeah, he benched Rose for Deuce now because the writing's on the wall. Like, the Knicks started off bad. RJ's been playing horribly. Rose has been on a minute restriction count since the day the game started. He's been playing anywhere from 9 to like 13 minutes, 7 to 13 minutes. I don't know what that's about. And it's Grimes' time to definitely shine. So I know Grimes was going to get the play, but Deuce started playing because Rose was hurt for a little bit, like 2 or 3 games, whatever it was, 2 games maybe. And so Deuce got some minutes, and now he's been playing more because of the fact that the Knicks have been horrible on the defensive end. So that's the thing. As I said before, how does it make Tibbs look when you're a defensive first coach and your team is playing atrocious on defense? Tibbs has no choice but to play these guys. You know what I mean? If the Knicks were playing adequate defense, just like what they played last year, you wouldn't be seeing as much Grimes. You definitely wouldn't be seeing Deuce. But as you can see, the fact that you're seeing them now and how they're playing means they deserve to play. They deserve to have roles on this team. This is what I'm trying to say with regards to Tibbs, his rotations, and the way he views the overall talent of the team. He looks at the wrong guys and he gives the wrong guys the minutes. I do love what they're doing. The fact that they decided to bench Fournier and all this, benching Fournier forever, it might be a little bit much, but taking him out of the starting lineup, great move. He doesn't deserve to be there. This is why I say it's tough, guys. I know you look at it and you say, well, Tibbs seems like he's making the right moves. He's playing these guys. He's doing this. And that. He's doing it because he has no choice. His whole thing is defense, and they are playing horribly from top to bottom. He got no choice. He got to do something, or he's going to lose his job. Well, at least I think he'd lose his job. Most coaches would if you keep playing like this. But he's got to make a change. So he's been forced to do it. And then other guys are playing. Sims is playing only because Obi's not there. He's not healthy. Sims deserves to play too. He hasn't done anything wrong this year. He deserves to get minutes in some capacity. But it's tough. I know it's crazy. It's tough because you can't play everybody. I get it. But you should be working to playing the right guys. And this whole little Hartenstein Sims connection that they got going on, let's see where it goes. See if we can build from it. Looked pretty good last night. Let's see. Yeah, politics of contracts and draft position. That's confusing. Yeah, I agree. D-Raz says, fire Tibbs. Facts. I just think it's still the right move to do in the end. Sango Waldron says, I don't understand who we have that's so consistent that we're comparing to Cam. I don't have an answer for you for that. Cam should be out there. My whole thing, Sango, is not about should Cam be playing for this Knicks team. Yes, he deserves to play, and he was playing well. We need him on the team, I think. But remember, we're going to have to pay him. Are you okay with just Cam playing every game, playing consistently, whatever minutes he plays, playing 20, 25 minutes, and then at the end of the season, Cam walking? That's the question I want to ask you, because I'm fine with that too. But understand that Cam's going to walk because the Knicks ain't paying him. I told you guys in the offseason, I didn't think the Knicks were going to pay Cam no matter what he did, unless he came out and became like an all-star. Then it was undeniable. But they're putting a lot of money into guys that are not like high-level talents. Julius Randle's a very good player. He's not high level. Jalen Brunson, very good player and fantastic as a point guard for the Knicks. He's not high level. RJ is definitely hasn't shown that he's high level by any means. We've given these three guys $100 million. Do you think they're going to invest in Cam as well, who hasn't even shown that he's been as consistent as these other guys? And don't get me wrong, I know what I'm saying about consistency when it comes to RJ, but up until this point, RJ's never looked this bad. And these other guys stay healthy for the most part. Cam doesn't. That's the other thing. The more you play Cam, the more chance he's going to get hurt. It's just life. That's how it is. I'm saying he could turn it around, but that's just how it looks. So I hear you guys. Should Cam be playing? Yes. But I just don't think the Knicks want to pay him that money that he may deserve or may want. Yeah, I don't think Cam is the weak link either. Yeah. Foolishness has gone on for too long. Tibbs always says, let the game tell you what to do, but he doesn't practice what he preaches. That's true. In my opinion, I agree with you. Keith Turner, 100% facts. Julius Randle earned it. Like, I wasn't mad when they gave him the money. I was surprised when he took less. When I heard, oh, he's only getting 116, I'm like, okay, he got most improved player. He took us to the playoffs. We were the 4th seed. I was like, I think that's a pretty good deal. But in the end, still, you got to look at it like, can I get something more for him? I'm not saying just trade him for nothing. Like, at this point, the way this Knicks team is and how he's played, trading him to Phoenix for Jay Crowder, hell no. No, not at all. I would not do that. Now, trading him somewhere else and getting some a player that could play on the team now and then maybe getting a first-round draft pick out of it, something like that, I'd have to consider it. Big Lou says if we lose Cam, he's going to burn us on another team because of the front office and Tibbs. Just you watch. Listen, that may be true. That may be the case. But Atlanta, didn't think that way, and he hasn't burned Atlanta yet. But I agree with you. Look, Cam has the potential to be something special. And maybe it won't happen with the Knicks. It could happen, but maybe it won't, especially now that everything's happening. Maybe it's going to happen somewhere else. That's just how it is. Like with Obi. Do I think Obi is a bad player? No. I think Obi has a lot of things that he can build upon. But do I think it's going to happen with the Knicks? I'm not sure. It may happen somewhere else. You put Obi on a Golden State maybe, or somewhere like a fast-moving team with high-octane offense. Maybe you see a totally different Obi. Knicks Real Talk. What's going on? My guy Divine. Salute. What's good, my brother? Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Always a pleasure. Thank you. Guys, if y'all haven't tuned in to Knicks Real Talk with Divine and Shaw Money, definitely do so, man. Very good show. Great content. Support the Knicks community, man. They're putting out a lot of good stuff on the whole, man, and definitely good stuff, good times, chopping it up with everybody. Appreciate you, my brother. Good to see you. Heck, the Gaston in the building. Salute. Good to see you. Time keeps moving forward, and we're getting stronger. The development chemistry is getting better. I'm not okay how they treat Cam, but the team as a whole is progressing. It's a fair point. Randall is a stat guy all for himself, Big Lou says. Yeah, I mean, but listen, he has been, these past 3 games, he's been playing, each game is progressively getting better as far as how he's playing for the team. First game, he went a little wild with his shot, getting his. The second game, he played really well, started getting other people involved. He was making some good jump passes and stuff like that. This last game, I thought he played well again. So look, we need him for the time that he's here, if he's going to be here or not. We need Randall, and I wish the best for him. I just think that, you should try to get something out of him while you can, if it looks good. You don't just trade him for nothing, but if you got an opportunity that looks good, you got to consider it. Leon is scared to make a move. You may not be lying there. I don't know what's going on with him. Almighty Finesse, I want to trade for Trey Murphy. Trey Murphy III is a good player, man. I wanted the Knicks to draft him, but he got picked before them, before their pick came up. So it is what it is. But yeah, he's a nice player to have. And I think on his team, they don't really need him because they got a lot of other good players over there. I'm not saying they don't need him, like they don't want him, but you might be able to steal him away. But, who knows? Cam is a restricted free agent, and we can sign and trade him for value. That's true. Shout out to you, Building Blocks. L Service says Cam asked for a trade, and that's it. Yeah, that's the bottom line. That's what it is, guys. He asked for a trade, and as much as he wants to say he didn't, something's not right. Because if you see that he's not getting played at all, not even a minute, not in a second, something's fishy. E. Gibson, Tibbs started playing the youth more because we were on that 5-game home losing streak and needed to try to do something even as stubborn as he is. I agree. I do think that played a big role in it, but I also think the fact is, during that time, it's calmed down a little bit, but the fire Tibbs thing was moving around Twitter, Instagram, all social media, Bleacher Report. Like the fire Tibbs thing was starting to happen. It was starting to grow some legs. Smash that like button, guys. Appreciate you. No. I mean, I would trade for Crowder, but the way Julius Randle is playing right now, I wouldn't just trade him for Crowder straight up like that. And I don't know if Phoenix would part with a first-round pick. I might do it. I'm not saying I wouldn't do it. If we can get Crowder and a first-round pick, I might do it. I'm not trading him for Crowder straight up. Kerry Cooper's in the building. Salute. What's good? What's good? Salute to you. Appreciate you. JT Riddick is in the house. What's going on? Anna Grill says, good jump passes. Oxy. That's what I'm saying, Anna Grill. This is what I'm trying to say. This is what I was saying earlier. Julius Randle took a bad habit and turned it into a positive. He not only decided, hey, I know I made some horrible jump passes. I'm not going to stop. I'm going to even do it more. He just decided to keep doing it. I'm like, this is crazy. But it's been working out for him these past few games. So until it becomes, but once again, that's what I'm talking about with Tibbs, guys. See, this is another bad habit that he's allowing to happen. Whatever. Proof's in the pudding. Okay. I got through all of the chat stuff. Nice. Smoking Nick in the building. He said, shout out to you, my brother. Appreciate you. Always good to see you. He said, what is trading for Crowder do for us? So this is the thing. At this point, I don't know exactly what it does for us. With the current team, with what we got, it would make more sense to trade Cam to get Crowder back, because then Crowder can kind of help fill a role that Cam is leaving behind. But with Cam still on this team, I don't know what Crowder does for us. But if they're not going to play Cam, then we're not getting Cam contribution. I think Crowder is a really solid, very good defensive player. He can't do much else on the offensive side rather than he can knock down threes here and there. Sometimes he gets hot. But I do always question certain things about these players. I question a defensive team like Phoenix that has decided not to use Crowder like that. I don't know what's going on. Phoenix has got, let me tell you something, for a team that won 60 games last year, they had a poor playoff showing, and they had some controversy surrounding Crowder, surrounding DeAndre Ayton. They're a little dysfunctional over there, and I don't know what that means. Is there something wrong with Crowder? Is Crowder being, standoffish and combative with the front office and the coach that they've put him in the doghouse? Or does this team just do some stuff that doesn't make sense? Monty Williams decided to bench DeAndre Ayton, and he doesn't even use DeAndre Ayton in a way that I think some people think would be more effective. They don't give him the ball when they play small lineups, and you know that he's an offensive player that can take control of the game. Listen, and that's talking about a coach who won Coach of the Year, and they won 60-plus games. I don't know what's going on. I have no clue. I just know that Phoenix moves kind of funky. That's all I'm saying. I don't know. I have no clue. JJ said, Ron, did you see the Zion late game dunk, and did you have an issue with it? Yes, I did have an issue with it. I didn't like it. I thought it was immature and childish, and I think by no means did that make the statement that he thought it made. The team was already up. It was a few seconds left in the game. His excuse was, they knocked us out in the playoffs last year, and he wasn't there to help his team. And basically, so he was like, that was just a statement to them, that I'm here, with them. It's stupid. It's just a highlight dunk that you wanted to get off. It's childish stuff. And in the throwback NBA, he would have, they would have came after him quick. It would have been an all-out brawl on that court. But that's how I look at it. Some people I know love it. Like, oh, did you see that dunk that Zion had? Like, certain people don't look at the game the same way. They may look at it like, oh, that's just a highlight for the team. What's wrong with that? Well, what's wrong with it is you're supposed to have a level of professionalism. When the game is out of hand, the game's over, you just run the ball out. You saw the Knicks game last night. The Knicks were up like almost 20 points with Charlotte. We had one possession that was coming down. There was going to be 6 seconds left on the clock. Did IQ try to take a shot? Did he try to dribble the ball and pass it to somebody else in the Knicks? Because, there's nothing really wrong with it. You can shoot the ball up if your last possession doesn't end the game. There's nothing wrong. But no, he decided to just hold the ball and let the clock run out. And then take the violation. And the Phoenix got the ball with 6 seconds left, and then they dribbled it out for the last 6 seconds. It's like, it's just like, you know what I mean? Like, why? It's almost like when I see, and I've seen multiple players do this over the years, whether it be in college or in the NBA, where you see a game is out of hand, right? And a guy is holding the ball, eating the clock so that he can just give it back to you or whatever, and you can end the game. And you see a defender on the other team smack the ball out of the guy's hand and take it down on the other end for a dunk or an easy layup. It's dumbness. I don't care who does it. That's like the stupidest play ever. Oh, well, the game's not over. The game is over. What are you talking about? The dude's holding the ball so he can run the clock out. The game is over. You just trying to get yours. Stop trying to make it seem like it's something that is not. You're trying to get yours. Come on, man. We see it. It's dumb. It's dumb. Listen, Kaiser Soze, I hear you. Play to the final whistle. If I'm holding the ball and I'm conceding, it's like a quarterback trying to take a knee. What do you think he's trying to do? He's conceding, right? I'm taking the knee. The only time I would say that doesn't play is when there's no reason for it, when it's not about you running out the clock or the game is not over. When you're in a situation years ago in a boxing match, was it Floyd Mayweather versus, oh man, I can't remember. Shoot, what is his name? I know he's from Puerto Rico. because I know he always had the Puerto Rican flag when he came into the ring. I don't know. You guys know what I'm talking about. If you watch boxing, there was a fight between Floyd Mayweather and someone else. The guy made the mistake of putting his hands down because there was something going on, but the bell hadn't been rung. So what did Mayweather do? He took that opportunity, two-pieced him, and he knocked him out, and he won the fight. You got to play to the bell. I understand that. It's a different thing. It's boxing. I get it. In this case, there was no need to do that. I just don't think I'm just telling you, I get it. He was just trying to put on a show for the fans. That's what it was. That's what it was. And let me tell you something. The other thing about it is players don't forget that. Players don't forget it, and players around the NBA will be watching it too. So when Zion tries to go into the lane for one of them dunks, he better watch his back. You don't want to get undercut. I'm just saying, there's like unwritten rules that happen in sports. And as much as some people say that, it's not that big of a deal, I don't see the issue. He just went up for a dunk. All right. The game's still going on. There's unwritten rules that these guys play. That's like sportsmanship that most teams adhere to. We got a player on our team that don't even want to shake hands after games. Now they're winning and he's averaging 30 points in his last 3 games. Now he want to say what's up to players. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, you know who it is. Starts with a J, ends with a Randall. Just saying. Thank you, Anna Grill. It was Victor Ortiz. That's right. Yeah, Victor Ortiz put his hands down because he didn't know what was going on. Hey, Mayweather's like, nah, don't do that to me, Playboy. I get that. I understand that. Yeah, Smoking Nick said, protect yourself at all times. Facts. And yeah, the coolest. Yeah, they were already a little bad blood for the headbutt. And I know. I remember he didn't like that. But shout out to New Orleans Pelicans building blocks. You're right. They are a dangerous team. They lead the Western Conference with the best record. I mean, listen, it's finally coming together for them. You got to watch them. You never know, man. With Zion healthy and those guys they got over there, they're a tough team. They're going to be matchup problems, bro, because you got guys that can take over. McCollum can have a good game for you. Zion can get busy. Obviously, why am I missing the small forward or the power forward? Whatever is small forward's name? Ingram. But what am I? I can't. I'm going blank on him now. Yeah, like what they got over there, and then they also got a center who has held his own and been really good in the league on other teams, and now he's like playing a complementary role, but he's a very good player. They got some weapons over there. They're tough. Phoenix should trade for Randall so he could fight Zion. But I will say that I think the two teams that most look like they could benefit from having Randall is Phoenix and Dallas. I think those two teams could really use Randall. And I know that Dallas has Christian Wood, but Christian Wood is not Randall. He doesn't play that type of style of basketball. And you could use Christian Wood in different ways. He's tall, lanky, and he moves pretty quick on the court. You could do different things with him. But they could benefit from having Randall, definitely. And Phoenix definitely could benefit from having him. They're missing a little bit of physical presence in that paint. D-Raz says basketball is also entertainment and competition. Let the youth rock. Well, listen, the flip side of it is you're right, D-Raz. People like to see dunks. They like to see excitement, and that's fine. That's okay. You can let it happen. It's okay. That's all right. They play each other again on Sunday. Let's see. That's what I'm saying. It's okay. It's just like in baseball. When a guy hits a home run and they flip the bat in the air, it's entertainment. People love it. The fans love it. The other team is like, okay, we'll see you next at bat. That's it. That's all it is. I'm okay with it either way. I listen. Do I think what Zion did was called for? No, I don't think he should have did it. I'm a throwback dude though. I don't see it. Do I have a huge problem with it? No, because I know it can be handled. Hey, get your dunk on, brother. Get your dunk on. We see you on Sunday, right? Okay. Come into the lane. That's how I look at things. It's okay. It's fine. Give the fans a treat. I'm excited too. That was a hell of a dunk. I'll see you on Sunday. Julius would love to go back home to Dallas, Building Block says. Yeah, man. I think he would love it. That's why I said that I include them. And I think Dallas is missing something. Losing Jalen Brunson, I think, does hurt them. But I also think even with Jalen Brunson, they were still missing something, right? They may have thought they addressed it when they got Christian Wood. I don't think it's enough. But it's good that they also have Hardaway. Hardaway's been playing pretty good. Tim Hardaway Jr. has been playing pretty good for them now that he's been healthy. Hopefully he stays healthy. You know, Tim Hardaway Jr. is another one that can't stay healthy. See, let me ask you guys a question right now. Now, I know Tim Hardaway Jr. is not a great defender. He does play adequate team defense, though. He's not a great one-on-one defender. But who would you rather have right now on this Knicks team? Tim Hardaway Jr. or Cam Reddish? Go ahead, guys. Let me see what you guys think. I'd love to know. Oh, you know what? Let me make it easier for you. You know, I got to get back into my polls, man. You know, I really got to, you know. Let's see. I wish they'd allow me to do it differently. Would I know what you guys are going to say for the most part because y'all seen too much of Tim Hardaway Jr. already. We've had him twice. But just realistically, how they're playing. There you go, guys. I'll make it easier for you. There's the poll. Real easy. Just a yes or no. I'm just curious because remember, and let me just tell you this because, you know, sometimes it is what it is. We don't always follow everything. And we're Knicks fans. We're concerned about our team and what they're doing, right? Tim Hardaway Jr. is averaging 13 points per game. He's shooting 37% from the field. He's shooting 37% from the three-point range. He's averaging 2.6 rebounds, 1.9 assists, and he's playing 25 minutes per game. Last night's game against the Bucks, he had a bad one. He had 8 points, 3 of 9 shooting. He had 4 rebounds. Against the Nuggets, he had 29 points. Against the Suns, he had 17. Against the Knicks, he had 28. Against the Pistons, he had 26. Against the Warriors, he had 22. So that's what his last 6 games have looked like. Just want to throw that out there so you know. And then let's just take a look at Cam to make it fair. You know what I mean? Even though we don't know if Cam's going to play again for the Knicks. Cam, in 21 minutes of play, averaging 8 points. He's shooting 44% from the field, 30% from 3. So he's shooting 40 from the field. Cam was shooting 37 from the field. He's shooting 30% from 3. Cam was shooting 30. Tim Hardaway was shooting 37% from 3, averaging 1.6 rebounds, 1 assist, 0.8 steals, 0.4. These guys are very similar. I'm not going to say nothing to you guys. Very similar. So, you know, you guys tell me, which guy would you rather have? Would you like to have Tim Hardaway instead of Cam? I'm just curious, just about the player. Forget the fact that he's been here twice already. Because I think it's interesting. And the other thing with Tim Hardaway Jr., at least you know what he is. You know exactly what he is. He's a dude that shoots the ball. That's what he does. They get hurt almost about the same amount. Oh man. Yeah, D-Raz. Now everyone wants to see that game. I hear you, bro. I'm definitely, if the game is being televised, I might be trying to watch because, yeah, he lit a fire. He lit a fire under that rivalry, which is good for the NBA. The NBA loves that stuff. Ooh, look at this, a new rivalry between two top teams. It'd be one thing if New Orleans was just a team that was, played and this happened against them. But New Orleans is leading the West, and Phoenix is always going to be right there. It's good stuff. Oh, I got you. That's a good point, Dwayne Dennis. I'm just talking purely about the basketball play, but you're right. If Tim Hardaway Jr.'s contract is crazy, then yeah, I don't know if I would want to touch that either. I hear you on that. Let's see. I'm just gonna look that up real quick because you got me curious. Okay, he's got 2.5 years left on his deal. He's making 19 million this year. He's making 17 million next year, and then he's making 16 million in 2024-25. So, and it's not really 2.5 years. It's 2 2/3 years. So, because we're only like at the 30 game mark in the season, there's still a whole bunch of playing left to go. I don't know how you feel about that. 19 million, 17, and 16. That's not that bad. It's not horrible. I don't know. Yeah, that is true. Hardaway does make Fournier money, El Survey said. But at least, I mean, who would you rather have, Hardaway or Fournier? I take Hardaway. I know what Fournier can do when he's going, but Fournier just can't get going. It takes a lot for him to get his stuff going. So I know Hardaway can get a shot. But I'm not saying that's where the Knicks need to look. Like, no matter what's happening right now, I'm not like, okay, if you say, could I trade Hardaway to um it's actually interesting though. I've done not for nothing. The problem with Hardaway is that he don't stay healthy. But if you told me that you could get Hardaway, he'll stay healthy for the next 2 years or so, and I could get rid of Fournier, would I do it? Probably, if I couldn't get nothing else. Like, he would be my last resort. Hardaway, I would take over Frenchie. Exactly, Anna Grill. Only if he was my last resort, though. And you might say, would Dallas do that? I think Dallas would consider it if we really needed to, because Hardaway's got an extra year on his deal. Like, next year, I think is Fournier's last year. Hardaway's got an extra year after that. So maybe Dallas says, okay, we can get a similar type player who can shoot the rock, but we only have him for one. We have him for one less year, so we can get out from under that contract. Whereas with Hardaway Jr., they got him for another year extra after that. So that's interesting. I didn't even think about that, but like, if nothing else can happen, maybe I might talk to Mark Cuban. Listen, what do you think about this? I know you probably prefer Hardaway Jr. over Fournier right now, but Fournier in your type of system, he's going to give you similar stuff to what Hardaway's doing as far as hitting the three. And you guys have a good all-around defensive team, so he won't be as big of a liability. Plus, you get out from under his contract 1 year earlier than with Hardaway Jr. That's a thought. We might have stumbled upon something there, guys. If the last ditch effort, if we get to the trade deadline and we can't move Fournier anyway, maybe we have to talk to Mark Cuban. Hey, man, take this one. We'll get you on the next one. Shout out to the Nick of Time show. Jay Ellis was good. Salute, my brother. Always good to see you. Appreciate you. So that's interesting. I think that's very interesting. Something to look at, something to keep in mind. You know, I don't know what the Knicks are going to do, where they're going to go from here, but let's just assume that they're going to continue to play this brand of basketball, and hopefully, you know, they figure out what they're going to do with Cam, because it's it's not a distraction because they're playing them, you know, but it could be a distraction if it goes on too long, and the Knicks start losing, and then you know, right now they're playing, you know, pretty good, but if they start playing differently, it could definitely I could see how this is definitely come back to, you know, make an issue for this team. Let's see here. All right. Well, our next game is tomorrow, guys, 6 p.m. We've been playing these midday, like mid-afternoon, late afternoon games, these 6 p.m. games recently against the Sacramento Kings. And let me try to do this again because I don't know, with this NBA thing on NBA.com, if you click it a certain way, it takes you to this whole other page that shows you the Knick gear and stuff, but it doesn't give you the right setup. And I don't know why it does this. I can only get where I want to get from a different spot. Oh, this is so weird. I don't know why it does this. It's definitely a new thing because I wasn't having this issue before. Here we go. I can get it from here. Here we go. All right, guys. So let's pull this up and take a look at what we can look forward to for this next game versus the Sacramento Kings. This is going to be a good test because Sacramento's been playing pretty well. Yeah, and you know, I love when Julius gets to go up against Sabonis. For whatever reason, these two guys love matching up against each other. It gets real physical, gets chippy. It started to die down a little bit because Indiana wanted to move Sabonis, and I think he just felt like, you know, his heart wasn't in it anymore. But now with Sacramento, that they're playing well, you might see a good version of Sabonis versus Julius that's playing at a good level. This could be a really good matchup. El Surrey says Cuban has the Knicks blocked. You might have a good point there, Geraldine. Hey, listen, as I said before, guys, let me say this again. I believe the first thing the Knicks need to do is fire Tibbs, right? That's the first thing they need to do. That's what I said before. Secondly, I don't necessarily want them to trade anybody on this team because I also think they need to shake up that front office. I've said this, and I don't want the front office messing the team up for the next regime. I don't want you trading a bunch of players or making our cap even more inflexible or giving up our draft assets, and then, you know, we fire you and then we try to bring in somebody new and their hands are tied, like, yo, you want me to do what? I got my hands behind my back. You didn't leave me with nothing. I don't want that. I want them to be able to have flexibility still. So yeah, I'm with you, Geraldine. First move is fire Tibbs. Agreed. But you know, I will say, guys, you know, I'm on this fire Tibbs train right now, and I'm not getting off of it because I see the writings on the wall, and I have a lot of reasons why I think they should do it. But I do know if the Knicks continue to play like this and they keep winning, I know people are going to jump back on the Tibbs bandwagon, and I'm going to be out here on the ledge by myself. I know the ledge, but I know I'm going to be out there by myself. So I get it. But I'm just telling you, nothing's going to change my mind about. I've seen enough of Tibbs. I've seen enough negatives that I don't like. I've seen enough bad habits. And just because they have gone on this little run and they've beaten some bad teams, even if they start winning against some good teams, I'm not ready to say that they can stay with Tibbs. I just don't see it. I don't see it long term. My opinion. Because remember, at some point, we're going to go into another offseason. At some point, we're going to go into another draft. At some point, we're going to get to our for us, if we have 2 or 3 first-round picks, whatever it is, and you're going to be like, I wonder who the Knicks get to help the team out. And then you're going to be like, wow, why are the Knicks moving back again? Why are the Knicks not drafting anybody? Well, 1, because Tibbs don't want more young guys over here. 2, because when Tibbs gets these young guys, they ain't going to play anyway. That's part of the reason too, guys. Just keep it all in mind. And to your point, Jay Ellis, I know. Listen, if they keep, I know it's tough. I don't see them doing it either because I think this CAA connection between Tibbs and the front office and now what James Dolan has bought into is huge. It's so strong, guys. I think this has to come from James Dolan. I don't think the front office is going to do it. I think if anybody would fire Tibbs, it has to come from James Dolan, and he would have to be at a point where he's trying to make a statement. I'm getting rid of Tibbs because I want to go in a different direction, and I'm putting the front office on notice. Understand, I'm vetoing whatever you guys think should work, and I'm telling you, I'm firing Tibbs so you know that I'm not happy, and now you guys are on notice. It would have to come from him. And I don't think it will. I think James Dolan is just removed from this whole thing. Not removed. He knows what's going on. I just think he's quiet. I think the CAA connection is working for him. I think it's profitable. This Knicks team is making all types of moves. They got Kith involved. They got all these fan nights and fan base, and everybody's loyal, and they're paying their ticket prices, and the Garden is sold out, and the Knicks brand is still moving around. It may not be as high as it could be. It's still the most profitable team in the NBA as far as a franchise. Why does Dolan have to do anything? It's tough. Shout out to Poopzilla in the building. He said, keep up the good work. I appreciate it. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, man. Sometimes, listen, it's opinion-based. I try to have some factual integrity to what I'm saying. Sometimes there may be some data or some stats to back it up. And sometimes it's just my opinion. You know, I hope to make it as educated and as smart, you know, as possible, but it's still an opinion. You know, I could be wrong any day of the week. But thank you. I appreciate that. And I don't disagree with everybody else. If you disagree with me, I respect your opinion. I'll put it up there. We could talk about it. It's all about the dialogue. I just feel like I've looked at this team long enough, and I'm a little bit more opinionated this year than I've been in the past because I just see so much that I'm like, nah, at some point I can't keep rocking with this. I can't keep seeing this. And I'm telling you, I blame Tibbs for RJ. I know RJ is his own man and he's doing certain things, but there's just certain things that Tibbs should have nipped in the bud. My opinion. And smash that like button, guys, while you're here. If you're on your way out, smash it on your way out. If you're coming in right now, smash that like button. I appreciate you. We need the likes. Thank you, guys. All right, so let's get up this preview between Sacramento and the Knicks for the game tomorrow. There we go. Let me make that a little bigger. All right. Let's look at the tail of the tape. Now, lately when I've been doing this, it looks like the teams have been very even. In this case, not so much. All right, so Sacramento is averaging 118 points per game. The Knicks are averaging 113.9. Sacramento's averaging 42 rebounds. The Knicks are averaging 47. Let's see here. Sacramento's averaging 27.5 assists. Knicks are averaging 23. 7.2 steals for Sacramento, 6.9 for the Knicks, 3.5 blocks, 4.5 for the Knicks, 14.5 turnovers for Sacramento, 13.3 for the Knicks, 49% from the field. That's very nice for Sacramento. 45% for the Knicks. 36% from three for Sacramento. I didn't even realize the Sacramento. Oh, well, they do have Malik Monk and they've got Herder. So that helps a lot with their three-point shooting. Knicks are shooting 32% from the field. Free throw percentage, Sacramento shooting 79, and the Knicks are shooting 80%. Let's see here. Okay. Points in the paint. Sacramento's averaging 50.9. Knicks are averaging 55.8. Second chance points. Sacramento's getting 12.5. Knicks are getting 17.5. Fast break points. Sacramento's at 16.2. The Knicks are at 14. Once again, like I said before, I love it when the Knicks can win all three of those stats consistently. But if they're winning 2 out of 3, they have a good chance to win the basketball game. The issue here is so up until these last few games where you've seen more Grimes and more Deuce, this number right here, this 49.4 would really scare me because this team, the Sacramento team, would eat this Knicks team up, without a doubt. But the fact that now the Knicks have infused a little bit more defense in there, and the team itself is playing with more effort, this doesn't scare me so much. This 49.4. The Knicks might be able to bring this down, and that could be effective towards them having a good chance of winning the game. If they can continue to hover around 33, 34 from the 3-point range, that gives them a good shot, and kind of limit Sacramento to around 34, 35. Because when they allow these teams to shoot high 30s, that's a problem. Yeah, everything else I think can kind of work, the way it normally works, and then the Knicks will have a good chance of winning the game. So yeah, I think this is pretty interesting. This matchup. Yeah, Sherwood, thank you. Brandon Ingram. That was the name. Like, having him with the rest of these guys in New Orleans, that makes them very tough. And they all could have their moments. Any one of them could take over at any given time. Makes them very interesting. William said, Big Lou, first off, I'll come back to you, William. He said, Tibbs truly is an assistant coach, not a head coach material. Yeah, maybe not. Maybe not. I think if Tibbs was the defensive coach for the Knicks, that'd be great. With a different head coach, I would really love that. I would really love that. Oh my God, are you serious? Yo, I don't know if any team around the NBA has caught as many breaks when it comes to unhealthy star type players to match up against when they have to play them than the Knicks. So many guys that are not there when the Knicks play these teams, and the Knicks have to capitalize. I don't care if you catch breaks, you catch breaks, but you got to take advantage of them. If De'Aaron Fox is not there when the Knicks play, that's a break, because you know how he moves up and down the court. His 3-point shooting is not great, but in the paint and from two, he's a problem. So yeah, we'll take the breaks. E. Gibson said it's a country club type of mentality with the CAA ties, and then Dolan is only concerned with profit margins. That isn't the forward-thinking mentality to build a winner. That's probably very true, dude. And we've made it very very tough for him to change because it's so easy. I mean, he's got a sold-out product every single night. The Knicks name is still buzzing, no matter if they're good or bad. The merchandise still flies off the shelf. We're not the highest in team merchandise as opposed to other teams, but still makes good money off of that. And because of Madison Square Garden and the Knick brand, it's one of the most profitable franchises in the NBA, worth at 3-point-something billion, whatever it was. Like, what forces Dolan to do anything? And I just saw that it's just a side note to his, to him as a businessman and his mentality. I believe he stepped in as an interim CEO or something for AMC, and I believe it's AMC, the movie company. I'm not sure. I didn't really read too much about it, but I think it's AMC, the movie company that you guys know. You go to the movie theater, watch AMC, there's Lowe's and stuff like that. I think he stepped in as the interim CEO while they find a new one. And he put out a memo that there's going to be some big changes because of their deficit. They're going to be massive layoffs. So, Dolan is a businessman. You see how he moves. Just putting that out there. I don't know if you guys saw that, but it's floating around. I don't even know how that works. How do you even get involved in that? I don't know how James Dolan. I don't know. That's weird, but whatever. William says Kyle Kuzma. Yeah, Kuzma's interesting. It's time for another poll, guys. Let me close out this other one. End poll. So the results are, out of 41 votes, the question was, would you take Tim Hardaway Jr. over Cam Reddish? 65% of you said no. 34% said yes. Okay. Yeah, listen, I hear you. I understand. But now I'm going to put up another poll. And I'm sorry I have to use the same person, but it plays into my narrative of my question. Oh, maybe I should put it like this. Would you? Yeah. There we go. All right, guys. Here's another one for you. All right. Hopefully you guys can all see that. The new poll up is, would you take Kyle Kuzma over Cam Reddish? You guys put your yes or no's in there and let me know what you think. William says things not good. Suns, Sixers, Lakers, and Bulls. Yeah, these teams are struggling. And if you want to throw another one in there, the Heat. Now, granted, Jimmy Butler just came back the last 2 games, I think, or definitely just came back. So I think the Miami Heat is going to start to trend upward. But if you look at the Heat, I mean, the Heat, as of before yesterday's game, were right behind the Knicks in the standings. What the hell? So Suns, Sixers, Lakers, Bulls, the Heat, the Golden State Warriors are struggling. Now they're dealing with injuries and stuff. Yeah, there's a lot of weird stuff going on around the league right now, man. It's time, could be a time for a changing of the guard. New Orleans is a team making its way. The Indiana Pacers are now starting to make their claim as a team to be in the top mix. There's certain things that are happening. Utah is somewhere still in the middle of the pack, although I think Utah is going to start dropping down. I think that's going to start happening. I don't know. I don't know if they're going to lose tomorrow, bro, because the good thing about it is the Knicks are playing with good defensive intensity, and that matchup between Julius and Sabonis is always a good one, and that might continue to light a fire under Julius. He loves going up against Sabonis. So because of that, it might still give the Knicks that little bit of oomph to come, and play all out tomorrow. We'll see. We'll see. Maybe it won't matter because maybe Sacramento will just be a lot, a little bit more talented. Because they got some good pieces over there, and they got the Nick killer, Malik Monk. The guy that Tibbs didn't feel like Deuce McBride could play defense against, so he left him on the bench and just allowed everybody else to get torched by Malik Monk when he was with the Lakers. Ridiculous. Sherwin said Julius will love to stay where his wife want to be. His wife is a designer that wants to play in New York. I hear you. There'd be some truth to that. New York and LA are really big markets, though. So maybe LA is something that Julius would consider again put that back on the table. Sean Kern says, always felt Tibbs is a veteran coach. We needed someone like Kenny Atkinson for this young team. May be the case. That's maybe the case. Smoking Nick says, so why does Tibbs have two coach of the year trophies if he's an average? Knock it off. Yeah, I look, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think Tibbs is a bad coach. I just don't think Tibbs is the right coach for this team. Someone asked me a question, and I gave him an answer about it because we have these conversations off topic, off air. I was talking to D Poetic, aka D is Bowling, aka D's World of Hoops. Shout out to him. Shout out to his show. Definitely support him and watch his show. Comes on at 12 o'clock, usually 12 o'clock pregame before a Knick game or 12 o'clock postgame the next day. So I would assume that we'll see him tomorrow at 12. And so I hope you're doing well today, D. Appreciate you. He asked me about Tibbs. Do you think Tibbs is a victim of circumstance? Because he said, if you look back at the Carmelo Anthony Knicks, right? when we had those players, would you rather have that coach who we had at the time coaching them, or would you rather have Tibbs as the coach of that team? Like if that Carmelo Anthony team, the team that won whatever 51 games, 50 whatever it was, and we made it, to that first round of the playoffs with Jason Kidd and those guys, Rasheed Wallace, Kurt Thomas, Carmelo Anthony, all the players, Amari Stoudemire. Would you rather have, that team being coached by Tibbs? And I said, absolutely. I would much rather have Tibbs coaching that team. I think Tibbs could get a lot out of that team. Sometimes it's the players that you have around you and that you can work with. And that's a veteran team. There's not a lot of question marks as far as what Tibbs knows about those guys. He knows what he can get exactly. He's not dealing with a bunch of young players. That's Tibbs's bag. That's where Tibbs needs to be. This Knicks team, not so much, in my opinion. I don't know how you guys feel about that, but I think that's the case. I think that's where Tibbs will live in and be very comfortable and do his best work. Sherwin said Julius took less money to stay here to please his wife. He's not going to Texas. He may be right. Maybe his wife doesn't like Texas, but then again, remember, everybody, Texas has been a hotbed because of the fact that there's no state tax. People love that no state tax. Sean Kern says this is a different Kings team. Mike Brown got them playing with an identity. That's a fact. Salute. Shout out to Kev Guapo. What's good, Kev Guapo? Appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Sherwood says no, Cam is a better defender and can create for his teammates. Better defender, yeah, but can create? I don't know if I've seen a lot of orchestration and creativity from Cam. I think one thing I will say is Cam is a willing passer. Cam doesn't have the RJ tunnel vision lately. Cam moves the ball. Cam, I may not like some of his shot selection sometimes, but Cam is more willing to move the ball than what I've seen from RJ lately. Let me see here. People want Tibbs gone. Shout out to Alawise. People want Tibbs gone because he don't coach how they want the team, how they want the team to be coached. But he's a perfect for this team of Cosby kids. I don't know, man. I don't know, bro. It's funny. It's funky with him. But like I said, if you put him on a veteran squad with players that have been in the league and know what to expect from a coach like Tibbs, and Tibbs knows what to expect from them because he knows how they play and knows what they can do and how they listen and how they react to his words, I think Tibbs will show you some good stuff. Now, I don't know if it's enough to win in the playoffs because Tibbs has been always a really good regular season coach. His playoff adjustments and stuff of that nature have always been an issue. It's always been in question. So remember, that's another thing. Even when Tibbs has a good team, there's always been question marks about how he uses them when we get to the playoffs. Kaiser Soze says, can't wait to get rid of Randall and Tibbs both. He also says, after another losing season, when we don't make the playoffs, they won't have any excuse to hold on to Tibbs or Julius Bumble. Cam is longer, but his shout out to Nick of Time Show, Jay Ellis. He said Cam is longer, but his defensive fundamentals and discipline isn't better than IQs. There may be some truth to that. Cam might look better as a defender, but I will say sometimes I see Cam doesn't always look like he's playing the greatest defense, but his length makes up for it. He can get back and stay in front of guys, and he's a deterrent to people with that length. He still can affect on the defensive side, but there has been times where I see Cam out of position, or he doesn't look like he is guarding his guy the way you would want him to, but he still is effective because of that length. So I definitely see. Yeah, thank you. That's what it is, Pudge. He recovers well. Yeah. That's something that I talked about 2 years ago in regards to Derrick Rose. Like Derrick Rose is not the best defender. One on one, he's not the best defender at all. He gets beat, but he recovers well. Not so much now that he's 34 this year, but 2 years ago, man, you beat Derrick Rose. You think you got a free layup? This dude comes right from behind you, swats it with his leaping ability. He can still leap. He would recover well. This is one of those things where I always question Obi. Once again, it's another knock on Obi. Obi may get beat. But remember, Obi's got good foot speed. He can run with the best of them, right? But then you telling me he can get beat on a play and he can't recover quick enough? He can't get back to affect the guy's shot with his athleticism? Come on, man. What am I missing here? You don't have to be the best defender to still do something on defense. There's ways. Yeah, man. I don't know. What did Julius do to you people? Without him, we are a lottery team. Get over the thumbs down. My God. Yeah, I hear you, Keith Turner. Look, there's still people that are not fans of Julius and his antics. And so once you burn somebody, some people don't move on from that. It's like with family. Once your family wrongs you, some people are like, ah, you dead to me. It's a little harsh, but that's how people be. Yeah, I could see that. They have a lot of respect for him, Pudge Nice. I could see them saying that they'll let D Rose pick where he wants to go. LRY says Randall and Tips hate is getting old. A lot of teams will respect us and we better than they're getting worse. But I'll talk back next 20 games. I hear you. Look, as I said before, me personally, I can't speak for everybody in the chat or what everybody thinks in Knick fandom. I respect Julius Randle. I appreciate what he does. I love how he's playing, but I also feel like I've seen this from Julius, even when he's playing well. And I just think that's not enough for this team. I think some moves that the Knicks have made already, they need to get out from under or change certain things, because going forward, I don't know if you're going to be able to have a winning franchise for years to come with this current mix of talent. And I think you better get from out under some of these guys. I honestly do think that Julius and RJ are not the right type of players to be playing with. I think they occupy the same spaces. Julius is better, but they play in the same circles. They drive to their left. They occupy the paint. They play the bully ball. They shoot the three from the wing and perimeter. But obviously Julius is a better rebounder, but he's a little taller too. I just think that one of those guys got to go. And most likely, I would think it would be Julius over RJ. Nick of Time Show says, if Cam was more disciplined, he would beat Grimes for the starting spot. Yes. Agreed. I think so too. And I don't want to kind of make it all seem like that one game, because I think there's more going on here. I think there's been more happening behind the scenes that we don't know about. I think the chirping and the talking has been happening. And, I just don't think there's something going on there with the whole Cam situation. But I do know that one game, I was disappointed in how Cam was playing. And I was looking at Tibbs, and Tibbs looked like he was on fire. That game, now I forget what game it was now, but it was like, the last game we saw Cam play, he was bad. He was terrible in that game. I mean, all types of unforced errors and turnovers, bad shot selection, not good defensive effort. He did not look good in that game at all. And I think that maybe something was going on with him already. Maybe the chirping was happening, because before that game happened, it was already known that two people were not happy with playing time. They didn't say who it was, but if Cam was one of them and he was already not happy with playing time, and then you played that way, Tibbs might have been like, oh, hell no. Just saying. Wacko in Brooklyn says, why didn't other organizations think that before we hired Tibbs? That's become another Tibbs myth. Well, I mean, it's not so much a myth as in we're talking about the thing that I said about the playoff thing, like he's a regular season coach. If that's what you're talking about, I think the proof is in the pudding. Once again, like I love to say that, like just watching how the teams fare in the playoffs. If that's what you're talking about. If it's not, then I apologize, Wacko. I don't know. I think that's just how it is. I mean, the marriage in Chicago, looked good, but you know what they said about Tibbs. They said he was a regular season coach there, couldn't make the proper adjustments in the playoffs, and he ran his players into the ground. That was the word about Tibbs there. Then, in Minnesota, once again, they said he ran his players into the ground, and he wanted his hands in all of the organizational bags, and he didn't necessarily make the right choices. However, some of those guys played good for him. Some of them guys had good seasons while a good time while he was there, and then you had a guy in Jimmy Butler who maybe shouldn't have been the mouthpiece for Tibbs. He may have made things worse, and he really stuck it to those young guys over there and made the whole situation blow up, and it turned into a whole other thing. Maybe they could have worked around it. Maybe they could have got to a happy medium with that team and Tibbs. But I know once the Jimmy Butler stuff started happening, he was going at these guys. I knew it blew everything up. So I don't know. Uh, Smoking Nick says, "Who makes us better if it ain't Julius Randle?" Then that is the question. That is the question. I'll tell you one thing: if we had Donovan Mitchell, I know we'd be better right now. Now, granted, Julius would be here. I get it, but if we had Donovan Mitchell, then I wouldn't be so mad that Julius is here. You know what I mean? Because then you're able to get a guy who is a 1B type of player. I don't know if he's 1A, but he's a 1B type of player. Would Shea Gilgeous-Alexander make us better? Maybe. If you can have him and see, this is the thing. My point is moving away from Julius because Julius and RJ, I feel like, don't really fit together. But it's moving Julius so you can eventually be able to go get somebody else. But if you can get somebody else and keep Julius, I'm okay with that too. But you got to be able to go get somebody else. And usually, I think, when you want to go get somebody, especially in the trade, you got to give something up. So who's the best looking player on this Knicks team right now? If another team is looking at an asset who is not on a truly expensive contract, it's a fair contract that you can afford to pay and is playing well, who's the best player right now for these current Knicks in these last 3 games? Julius Randle. So that's the guy. That's what I'm saying. That's how I look at it. But if the Knicks were able to trade and get, like, say you could trade for Shea Gilgeous. And I'm not saying he's the answer, but I definitely know he'd make our team better. And we could keep Julius, but you got to trade like Obi and quickly, and some picks, and I don't know who else you got to throw in there. Would you guys be okay with that? Would you be okay with keeping Julius and adding Shea to the mix, and then seeing what you can do in the offseason and what happens in the draft? I would. Because I know this season the Knicks ain't really going anywhere. No matter how good they play, there is too much parity in this league. And they don't have enough talent to deal with the big boys consistently. It's one thing to beat a good team one game, throughout the regular season. It's another thing to beat them in a 7-game series. This is how I look at it. All right. So let me before I get to anything else that's here in the chat, let me take this poll down, see what we got going on with this poll. What you guys thinking? So, all right. And 35 votes. This one was, would you take Kyle Kuzma over Cam Reddish? 60% of you guys said yes. There you go. So that's your opinion about that. I hear you. Okay. Let's see. All right. So, Nick of Time Show. Jay Ellis, question for the chat. If Randall makes the All-Star team and we are 6th in the East, would that change your view? Yeah, I wonder what the chat thinks about that. I'm curious because I know personally for me, like the longer Julius is here, and if he keeps playing like this, Julius ain't gonna go nowhere. I'm saying like you got to rip the band-aid off fast. If he's playing well and he's increased his value, you move on from him. But if not, then you ride it out and you say, listen, I'm gonna ride it out and see what we can do with this team and how far we can go. Understanding that next year you're right back here again and you're gonna be a question mark in mediocrity. Doesn't mean you can't get better because if the Knicks draft well, who knows? If the Knicks find some cap room and they're able to come off of certain contracts, you might be able to put a couple pieces around and then maybe the right type of draft picks, then the Knicks could be trending upward. You can still make it work. You just got to be willing to do something. You can't continue to be afraid to make trades, afraid to draft players and keep moving back and then using those draft picks to unload players. I mean, how upset and frustrated would you guys be if the Knicks don't pull off a trade? They decide to keep everybody, Tibbs, the front office stays the same. Randall's not going anywhere. We play out this season. The draft comes and the Knicks start trading back again. Or trading back, acquiring a couple more picks, then using those picks to flip and move off of Fournier's contract and whoever else is. How frustrated would you be if you got to witness that again? Because I know I would be going crazy. That's all I'm saying. The Knicks team has to show me something. It's okay if you like Randall and Randall's playing good and you believe in him and like that's it. You just want to give this guy another shot and feel like he's turned it around. Okay, what are you going to do next? Show us something. That's all I want. I don't care because I'm a realist. I don't necessarily think the Knicks are going too deep this year, and I'm okay with that as long as it's for a purpose. Like next year, we have another plan. Next year, we're going to figure out a way to get better. I use the Mets as an example. People are flipping, going crazy that are Met fans because if you look at the Mets on paper, they won 106 games last year. They got knocked out in the playoffs. They couldn't really deal with the other teams they were playing, and they went cold. The bats went cold. And so all the moves that they're making right now, people are like, well, you haven't really gone out there and got yourself a big bat that we need, another bat because we went cold. And so people are like, it's the same team. What have you done? Well, guess what? It's the same team that won 106 games and might win around the same amount of games this, next year coming up and get to the playoffs again. And we don't know what can happen. Plus, the moves that they did make were bullpen moves to help the bullpen because the bullpen at certain points last year was trash. So, you know what I mean? Like you can see that it's either you're staying the same, getting a little better, or getting a bunch better, but you're not going backwards. That to me is important. The Knicks need to, but the Knicks team doesn't want to, we don't need to stay the same. We need to get better. So whatever they do to get better, I'm with it. Even if that means Julius Randle is here. I'm okay with the Knicks deciding we're going to keep Julius, but now it's time to move off of Obi. We made a mistake. Okay. That whole thing played out wrong. We thought Julius was going to leave. I mean, not leave, but we thought we didn't know Julius was going to have that great season. And then, it is what it is. You decide to move off of Obi. Okay, let's focus on Julius and then focus on building around him. But they need to make a choice. Somebody got to go. Shout out to Wacko in Brooklyn. Thank you for the generous super chat, my bro. Front office chose Randall by putting RJ in the Spider deal. Interesting. Jay Ellis says SGA ain't coming. That's probably true too. There's no reason for Sam Presti and OKC to trade SGA to the Knicks. We don't really have anything for them. Yeah, Kaiser Soze says, I know who can make us better if we dump Randall now. Victor Wembanyama, Scoot Henderson, Eamon Thompson. That's a fact. I like all those guys. I'm big on Scoot though. But yeah, I don't mind Thompson, and I definitely don't mind the Wembanyama Rama. He says, Jay Ellis, Nick of Time Show says, SGA and RJ together is still giving us the same spacing problem. Yeah, I mean, you run into a similar spacing problem, but it's different because if say you have like with SGA, yeah, he don't stretch the floor. He's not a big 3-point shooter, but he's a dynamic and a dominant inside scorer. Whereas RJ is not dominant at scoring inside. He's forceful. He gets there. He don't always finish though. SGA is very good at finishing and getting to the line. To the clip of, he gives you, 25 plus points every game. And he still can get others involved in the game while he's doing it. Well, listen, that's my whole point that I'm thinking, JLS. Even though I want SGA, it doesn't stop there. He's not the end all be all. You still need guys that can help stretch the floor. You got to have that. Big Lou says if Randall stock is going up, then make the trade ASAP. Yeah, I mean, if it makes sense, I think that's the tough thing that you got to be willing to do. Because if you don't make this trade, and there's a good opportunity for the Knicks to get somebody back, and we don't do it, and then later something happens, the other shoe drops, or Randall starts playing bad, or he plays good, but we play against tougher competition, and it doesn't really matter as much. You guys will be like, man, we should have traded him. We could have got something. We should have did that because you're not going to get many opportunities to trade a player. At some point, their value is just not going to look the same, whether it be because of their play or their age. Because he keeps getting older. Certain teams want to build differently. They don't want to add a person who's 28, 29 years old when they've got, guys on their team that already fit that bill. Maybe they want to get younger. Like there's different factors that play against the, certain trades and mentality. He has to stay where he's at right now. He can chirp and bark a little bit, but he's got to stay level-headed, which he's been doing a good job at. So shout out to him. Delano Steele Jr.'s in the building. Salute to you, my brother. Good to see you. Thank you for being here. Keith Turner says, I don't have a problem with Randall. It ain't his fault. He don't have no talent around him. It's fair. Nick of Time shows that Knicks aren't looking for cap room. They're looking to trade. Yeah, I think they are. I'm not with that either. Allah, wise facts. People just don't like Randall. They don't care if we win or not. They just want to move the best player we got for Obi to play. No, I'm not with that. I would be moving Randall because he's one of the best assets we have, so we can try to get somebody back that can help this team long term. But it's not to allow Obi to play. Obi doesn't deserve that mentality from me if I'm a front office person. Now, if Randall gets moved and Obi does get more playing time when he gets back healthy and can contribute, that's one thing. I mean, we'll take it. I mean, if it benefits from it, but I wouldn't be doing it just to get Obi more playing time. No, it's not, has nothing to do with Obi. What that conversation has changed. It's moved on. Obi hasn't shown me anything to keep that narrative going. This is about getting rid of Randall for something that can come back and help the team. But I'm not just going to trade Randall just to trade him. To me, he's too good of a player to just do that. You don't just want to get rid of him just to get rid of him. The way he's playing, the way he is keeping himself in check. No, he deserves more than that. I would trade him to get somebody back that can help the team, or to get something back that I feel I need. I'm not going to just trade him to trade him, though, and definitely not trading him just to free up a spot for Obi. Because I'll be honest with you, I got no problem trading Randall to get back a player that can help and a first-round pick if I could get it, and still trading Obi. That's how I am with it. I'm ready to move on from both of them for different reasons, of course. But I'm also okay with keeping Randall. If he keeps playing like this and you figure out a way to build and put other pieces around him, I'm okay with it. You got to take, once again, you got to pick a direction. We got to do something here. Paris Douglas says, you take Kuzma because of his bag. Yeah, Kuzma can do a lot, and he's shown it. I mean, Kuzma's done a lot in his short career that I would say I like better than Cam at this point. Cam has the potential to do all this stuff. We've never seen it. I've seen Kuzma drop 30. I've seen Kuzma go for 30 multiple games. I've seen Kuzma hit game winners for Washington and be the guy for them while Bradley Beal was out. I've seen it. I also seen him play very well being around guys like LeBron. Now, consistently, there might be some issues there with his consistency as well. But I've just seen Kuzma do more on the offensive side. Defensively, I don't know. That question is still out there. That's hurtful, El Servi. I don't need to see that. Okay, I'm sensitive about my Mets. Nick Yak is in the building. He says Ron is quickly McBride, Grimes, Obi, Mitch, Hartenstein, younger than Obi. Brian Grimes. Oh yeah, I hear you. Yeah, I think we've moved on from that narrative. Now I mean, of course, he plays the kids, but he has to. And some of those kids are better than his older players, whatever he's got on the team. Yeah. I think we could put that to bed, Nick Yak. He plays the kids. At least he is now. Definitely. There's no need to even talk about that anymore. But I think that narrative has been dying down a lot anyway, because he plays, he's been playing young guys. He just doesn't play all the young guys that everybody wants to see. But yeah, he's been playing young guys. It is what it is. I think we can move on from that. Big Lou says we need to stop the draft stuff. We need to get rid of most of our draft picks and move on from that, basically. So I know I'm hoping you're trying to say that we need to move them in a way to get trades to bring in players that we could use to make this team better now, because I know you don't think that we have enough now. I know you're saying, we got to use these draft picks and go out there and trade and acquire talent to help this team now. I think that's what you're saying, which is a direction. Because I've said before, you need to pick a direction. Either you're going to try to make a win now team, go get the best possible talent you could put on this team to fill it out and go from there, and let's start winning some games. Or you go the opposite direction and move off from the Fourniers, the Roses, the Randalls, and build with the youth, and then just add some more pieces in the draft around those guys. You got to pick one of the two. In the middle is not working for us. We can't be there. We're not as good. We're not a good team to stay in the middle. Middle teams are teams that already had the players and they're starting to fall off. Like they're starting to transition back down. Those are the middle teams that it's okay. It is what it is. You're a middle team until they decide to blow it up. We're a young team that's in the middle. We got to figure it out. No Cap Sports Talk says, who do you think is more attainable, Shy Glizzy or Cat? If we were to acquire Cat, I would trade Money Mitch to a third team. I don't know, man. I don't know if the Knicks would want Cat. I definitely know that Cat, I don't think Cat would be here while Tibbs is here, even though they said that they don't really have issues. You hear one thing about that, then you hear another thing that they didn't get along. I don't know. So long as Tibbs here, I don't even think Cat is an idea. And then Shaq, yeah, I don't know. I don't think Shea Gilgeous-Alexander has a chance to be here because we talked about it before. Sam Presti and those OKC, they're in the same position as the Knicks as far as the talent. Not the talent because they've got good young talent, but I'm saying like as far as the team, they're in the middle of the pack too, and they may be a little lower, and they've got more picks than us. Like what do we have to offer them? See, we can't give them Julius Randle. They don't want a 28, 29-year-old player on their team making $100+ million. They're just he's trying to keep things low. Their cap space and all that. He's trying to keep everything low. I don't know. I don't know what we could do. I mean, maybe they would take RJ. I don't know why, but maybe they would take RJ. I don't know, bro. I don't know. That's right. Let's go Mets, JJ. Facts. Otherwise says Ron, still Knicks fan. Keywords might. We don't know. They're already building around Julius. We just in denial. I hear you. I hear you. I hear you, bro. Yeah, I hear you. Smash that like button, guys. Show your love. Let's go. El Surrey said Plumlee is faster than RJ. Oh my God, I hope that's not the truth. Nick of Time Show says dumping Randall won't give us a top 3 pick. True. But it will allow for us to get something back that might benefit us depending on who we trade with. And it will probably open up some space for RJ to be that one guy that does that what they both do. Even though I said once again, Randall does it better, but they both do similar things. And I don't like it. I don't like the mix. But I do appreciate Randall. Like I said, guys, once again, I don't want to be confused with my words. I think they should trade Randall because of what's going on with the team. But if you decide that we're not trading Randall, then move some other guys out of here. Get Obi out of here. Get, whatever. Maybe even RJ eventually has to get out of here. Maybe not now, but eventually, like, make a move in a certain direction that tells me you're going all in and we're going to do it this way. I'm even okay with if they keep RJ and they keep Randall and say, but we're still going to build. I mean, we're going to build a win now team now. Like, we're going to put these guys, we're going to get a good 3-point shooter. We're going to get a good wing. We're going to get a different type of power forward or whatever to replace Obi. And we're going to go from there. And we're just going to try to win as many games as we can and see where it goes. I'm okay with that too. We just got to make a decision. Paris Douglas says, hey, Ron, what if Brunson wants to keep Randall now? If that's what Brunson wants, if that's like, if he didn't sign up to be here and watch a team go through a rebuilding process, that's not why he chose to take the money. I could understand that too. And if that's the case, then that's what we got to deal with. But build it, go all in. Don't like, basically stay here and make a decision and go all in. We're going to be a win now team, then be a win now team. And I know that might stink to some people, but you got to come off of some of these kids, but you do it and get some players in who know that can get it done now. Let's get it cracking. However we got to do, let's get it cracking. Keith Turner says Obi is true. I don't want to say that yet, Keith Turner. I think Obi is going to get to his full potential here currently? No. If Randall's gone and Obi plays starter minutes and he gets the uses and the touches, maybe he gets better. But I think Obi's going to get better somewhere else. I think Obi will turn into a better player if he gets moved to a different team. I hear you, Big Lou, but this CAA connection is strong, B. It's strong, man. I don't know if another coach is going to come here. I don't know. What, Tibbs is in year 3? I think we got a 4 or 5 year contract? I don't know. To me, if Tibbs stays here throughout his whole contract, and he's you wasting Obi. Shaw legacy. The front office is not building around the youth. Randall and Brunson are the 2 best players, and both are on the same timeline. Yeah, exactly, Shaw legacy. Once again, that's another thing that shows me, like, what are we doing here? Why are we not, like, this is a make or break. When I said it was a make or break, it's just to see what we got and what we can keep. To me, the writing's on the wall for next year. It may not even be this year. To me, this is a make or break. So Obi looks good, we keep Obi. If Quickly looks good, we keep Quickly. We're not going to keep everybody, though. But if they don't look good, we got to figure out a way to move them, and we got to go all in next year. Okay, these are the young guys we can keep. They can be complementary pieces. These other young guys, we got to flip them and try to move them out of here and bring in win now talent. And next year, we're going to go for that. That's all I'm saying. That's what I would expect them to look at, because they definitely don't look like they're going the other way. Like you guys said, with Brunson here and Randall, they don't look like they're trying to do the rebuild thing and go youth and just kind of see how it grows from there. They're trying to get to another point. Plus, you got Tibbs here as a coach. LOI says, we're not still Knicks fans. If they wasn't building around Randall, why was Randall them at Dallas versus Utah? Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. But I don't think I ever said that they wasn't building with Randall. I don't think those were my words. I just said that they need to figure out what they're going to do. They either need to decide to build with the youth and move off of these higher contracts and these older players and just build it OKC style and just keep building it from the ground up. Or you go the opposite way. The opposite way is get rid of some of these young guys and bring in more win now talent guys that are around the league that can contribute right away. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Shaw Legacy, RJ shot the youth movement in the head. Not a good third pick at all. Right now, it looks that way, Shaw Legacy, but I do feel like RJ is going to turn it around and have a good year in the end. But right now, it does not look good. I hear you, though. I hear you. You make a very good point. Francisco Carrillo in the building. He said, yo, que pasa? Not ready for a $200 million player like my line-to-line McBride. I hear you. Listen, and that's how some Knicks fans feel. Like there's certain players on the team we just don't want to get rid of. We like them here. They're Knicks to us. I get it. Big Lou says we need a dynamic general manager to get things done because Scott Perry ain't doing his job. Maybe true. Shout out to Manny. Appreciate you. Thank you for being here, my brother. Appreciate you. This team just feels like a giant smokescreen while the front office fails to take risks. 100%. Yeah. Nick Yak said, how much did we miss OB yesterday? 0%. I mean, granted, Charlotte didn't have much to throw out there against us, but yeah, you didn't need OB yesterday. That's true. All right, guys. Well, we're almost at the 4-hour mark. Long show, and I'm sitting on this couch, which is comfortable, but it's not as comfortable when you're trying to do a show from it. I'll be like this for a little bit while Christmas is happening because it got a little different setup. Got the tree happening over here, and so I had to make some space and turn things around and stuff like that. But I can't have my nice little comfortable chair to sit down. And, it's not good. I'm 6'5", man. 6'4", should I say? I need some support. It's tough. It's tough right now. But thank you guys for being here as always. I appreciate y'all. This chat has been on fire. You guys have been coming with all types of different point of views. I appreciate y'all. Listen, I think at some point, as Knicks fans, we know what the problems are. We just got to figure out what is the solution and what is the direction. This team does not have a current identity. Looks like they're trying to get back to one, though. Looks like they're trying to develop a defensive identity. I don't know if we have enough pieces to kind of really carry it out, but they definitely look better right now, and I'm happy for that. I'm happy that Tibbs has guys out there that can orchestrate his defense the way he likes it. Good for him. And let's hopefully we keep it going, man. Like I said, I'm not on the tank thing. I want the Knicks to play as good as they can. But if they can't play good, I don't want them messing it up either. I don't want them saying, oh, we're a bad team right now. Let's go out and trade everybody and go get these guys and mess everything up and not go nowhere and then screw up our draft capital and still not go anywhere. It got to be smart. It's got to be the right decision. So it is what it is, man. Well, Smoking Nick, that's another opinion. Like I said, we got to figure one out. It's because he says it's so funny that we talk about trading Randall when we should be talking about who can help him be better. I agree. And what I've said before, and when I say this, I agree. I mean, I agree. You got to take one or the other. If you're going to build with Randall, put some pieces around and be willing to make moves the other way. If not, we got to move him now while his value is good. That's all I'm saying. You never be in a better position than now to move Randall. Yeah, that's right, Hollow Eyes. I'm 6'5" in sneakers. Facts. Oh, man. Thank you guys for being here. I appreciate that. That's a good point too, Sean Kearns. But unfortunately, we're at that point now. You're right. When it comes to go all in, look at what Chicago did. And unfortunately for Chicago, Lonzo Ball is a big piece of that team as far as orchestrating and keeping them flowing with a pace. Without him, they have struggled. And it was definitely a risky move to go all starters and not worry about your bench. I mean, all they really added to the bench was Caruso. Caruso was hurt for a bit last year, but it's just not enough. Like, you made your team very one-sided, and we see now that one-sided team, and then with one of your biggest pieces being hurt too, it hasn't worked out. But I'm just saying, with the Knicks, they're at that situation. They have to figure it out to go one way or the other, because right now we're going to be talking about this team in the middle of the round play-in area for years to come if they don't do nothing. Thank you guys for being here. Big Lou, yeah, man, thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, I'm one day at a time, brother. Thank you for the well wishes once again. We're going to keep on that road to recovery, get her better, and hopefully have a happy holidays. Yes. So I'm wishing you all the best, guys. Once again, pay attention to the community post. You're going to see me post something about this Nick gear. You know what I mean? We got this Nick gear sponsorship. It's definitely something new for us. Ultra Game is a brand of sports apparel and things of that nature. So you're gonna see, I'm gonna put the information in the bio of this particular video. So if you want to look at it later, it'll be here. But also, it's going to be on the community post. There's also going to be a giveaway. The Ultra Game brand is giving away a NBA men's tank top mesh sleeveless muscle t-shirt. So if you got the guns out, sun's out, but the guns out, they're giving that away. Like I said, so this is going to be one of those situations where the contest is already going. It started today. I think actually it might have started yesterday, but I wasn't able to get this up yesterday. So, but it doesn't matter. As long as you put your stuff up, you're in it. Okay, it's going to be today and tomorrow is the last day. And so you'll be in it to have a chance to win the NBA men's tank top mesh sleeveless muscle t-shirt from sponsors Ultra Game It's a really cool sponsorship we got with them. And hopefully we're going to be doing these type of giveaways every month. So stay tuned. You know, like I said, I'll put the information out on the community post. It'll also be here as well. So stay tuned for that, guys. Thank you for being here. Appreciate the chat as always. Great time being here and chopping it up with you. It was fantastic to see J Boogie. That sunshine video was fantastic. Dope work. Great visuals. Shout out to John, who made an appearance and opened up the show with me. It was always good to do that with my brother. So yeah, man, it's been fantastic. Thank you guys. You guys have a great rest of your day. Do something fun out there if you can, but be safe, man. Listen, this sickness, this illnesses is going around. You know, the C words out there, the flu's out there, and this RSV that's you know, really taking apart our young people, man, our young kids out there, our little babies struggling with this coughing and this bad thing. And then it's, you know, we're trying to take care of them and we're catching it because it's so contagious. There's just so many different things to worry about this wintertime. Just take it easy, guys. I know you see people out there running around without the mask. I know you don't like to be inhibited with it on, but you listen, you know, if you're going to be in a crowded space, you know, put it on, man, wear it. Wash your hands, you know, sanitize. It's only for a little bit. Do what you got to do, and you go back to where you're going to go. Be out in the open. You know, take your mask off, take it down, go to your house, live how you want to live. But be careful, man. Like I said, that thing is moving. Should I say those things are moving? They're all over the place. That's pretty much it, guys. Take it easy. I appreciate y'all. I catch you on Monday. Still Knicks Fans Weekly, as I say all the time. Tell a friend who tells a friend who tells another friend. Still Knicks Fans. We'll be back again on Monday. SKF Weekly at 9 p.m. Myself, John, Jose, or on Thursday, the NBA Report on the Nothing But Knicks Network. Good to see y'all. We'll see you next Saturday. 11 a.m. No ledge.